little while ago?
Yeah.
Where it was like, apparently it's like some Forrest Gump filter where it's like the beard's getting longer and longer.
I saw that. Yeah. I was like,
it's actually,
man, your beard grew fast.
yeah, it's pretty cool. So anyway, if any of you guys, if anybody's on Snapchat, just add me, Johnny Bean. Any of you guys? Are you guys on Snapchat?
No, I'm not.
No.
No? And Dave's like, what's Snapchat?
It's Instagram for idiots.
Okay. Hey, this is Johnny Bean. Live, 5:18 p.m. Pacific, 8:18 p.m. Eastern, July 6th, 2016. And we are doing a live, hey, Brent Cohn, yo. Doing a live EVH Guitar hangout, talking about EVH guitars, all different kinds. I got some back there. So, hey, who's in here?
Got Pete
Dave
Caruth.
Nesdall. I knew
Rob,
that was
hurry.
happening.
Say Rob, quick.
I knew that was going to happen.
Rob Johnson.
Go ahead, Pete.
Pete Caruth.
And Dave Nesdall here on Long Island, New York. Beautiful Long Island.
Humid Long Island.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely very humid today.
It's humid here in Mass, too, that's for sure.
Yeah,
It's nice here.
It's nice there.
It's really nice here.
And it's still like breakfast time over there, right? It's
Yes.
a.m. still?
Yes. Sean Mahoney, how you doing, man? Yeah, I just ate just a little while ago. So hey, what do you guys want to? Pete, how are you doing, man? What's new?
You talking to me, Johnny?
Yeah.
You're the only Pete.
That would help. No, man, I'm playing the guitar that I robbed from David while he was on vacation last month. Nice striped wolf. You know, Mexican, but it sounds great. You know, it's not the USA. I don't know if you can see right here, but David did a nice job actually installing the FU tone trem system, and it came out good. Except
I was saying FU to Pete as I was putting that FU tone bridge on.
Yeah, no, it actually doesn't sit in the body right, but you know, Dave got it to work. I mean, it's close. Look at it. I mean,
Rob, it's just like the way yours was on your PV. You know, I mean, on your when you had the PV bridge on your Sunburst one.
Yeah.
It sits out of the route just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
That FU tone, the FU tone bridge is exactly a PV Wolfgang bridge.
Yeah,
it's exactly the same bridge.
Yeah.
You see it from that angle. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's cool.
So it doesn't really fit in the route, but it fits perfectly. You know, as you know, because you had one on your guitar.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, it didn't fit in the route, but it's still, the action was perfect, and it, you know,
yeah,
no problems at all.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great. It screams. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised by it. Like I would play with this thing out without a doubt. I mean, it's not as alive as the you know, the Americans, but it's close. You know, with the upgrades, it's close.
I mean, you were pleasantly surprised by the bridge, or pleasantly surprised that Nesdall set it up right?
No, and what he can see, you know, he does a great job. You know.
You know what? All kidding aside, I'm just giving Dave a little jab there because he's my buddy. But no, Dave is awesome. He did some work on a couple of my guitars when I was at him, and yeah, he does. He knows, he's got that magic touch. He knows how to tweak things and the nuts and the bridges and all that stuff. He's really good with that stuff.
Hey,
so
listen,
to do that.
I'll let him touch anything I own. Plus, you know, it's nice to be able to yell at someone when they mess up. You know, you can't yell at yourself, right? You know.
No.
So I drive, you know, 25 minutes, and you know, I watch him do it. That's the beauty of having him close.
I trust Dave, but I wouldn't necessarily let him touch anything of mine. But.
That's true. All right.
Rob, there's only a couple things that I would be willing to touch, and anything on your body is not one of them.
Oh, what are you trying to say, Dave? I wasn't going
Just
there.
saying. Just saying.
No, I actually got you know, the newest, you know, the white American that you just had relicked, and I brought it right over to Dave. I didn't even mess with it. I mean, they set it up, but the action was still a little high. Boom, like you said, a couple of tweaks here and there. It was perfect. You know, I put the red D tuner on it actually.
Oh, nice.
And it
Oh,
it
wow.
was, you know, it was grabbing. It was, and then he just, you know, squirted some of that deoxit on it, and it was like, you know, as easy as pie. Dave, I mean, literally, this thing has been perfect with a couple of squirts.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's good stuff. Well, show the rest of the guitar, Pete. Show, because I don't think people know that it has a kill switch in it.
Yeah, I've got a kill switch in it, red D tuner, and that's it. That's the only things I did to it.
What do you think of that guitar, Pete? What do you think of the playability and everything as far as compared to your other ones?
I think it's by far the best Wolf that I have. I mean, well, let me say that differently. This is an E flat. I play a stealth in E flat, and it doesn't blow it out of the water, but this is just brighter. The stealth is a little darker, just like the tone of it, unless it's just...
It's that, yeah, it's the different style. It's a different type of paint that kind of chokes the wood a little bit.
Yeah,
and I hate to use the word choke because it's a bad. It makes it sound like the guitar is bad. It's I can't really explain the difference, but it's a noticeable difference. It's not a bad thing. It's just a different thing. And to my ear, the regular painted white one sounds a little sweeter, maybe.
It's brighter.
Sweeter sounding?
It's brighter. It's probably the brightest guitar I play in that register. You know, but I have an amber that's in standard that I never played. This guitar is absolutely gorgeous. I think this is an 09. Hold on. There's no way I'll be able to see.
Well, yeah, I think it's an 09 too.
It's an 09.
I think it's an 09.
But this
because
guitar,
they did in 07 when they first started making those things, or 08, they only made them black, white, and sunburst. So, and then the next year they came out with the amber.
this neck is significantly narrow than.
Can you show that guitar, Pete? Can you show us the body and the neck and the headstock on that? That's beautiful.
I mean, just to give you an idea, hold on. I mean, you could really tell that how narrow that is. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's got a real different feel to it. It almost feels small, like ukulele. Like
Yeah.
I can't explain it, but this guitar is alive. What else you want to see on it? I think, you know, it's.
Wow,
Show the headstock.
That's beautiful. Beautiful guitar.
Yeah, this guitar is awesome. It absolutely. I keep this in standard. This is my. You know, I play in a cover band. We do. You know, a lot of the '90s. You know, genre, but then we dip into the, you know, harder, older rock, a lot of the V8 stuff, obviously, and Zeppelin and stuff, but this is my standard axe. It's amazing. It's probably one of the, all these guitars are amazing in their own way, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's just...
Show the PV.
I've never set up the amber one. The PV's nice. What'd you say, Dave?
Show the PV. Wait till you guys see this guitar. It's stupid how good looking it is.
It's blue.
Wow.
It's like a deep blue. It was funny. I actually changed out the knobs. I got this, oh, God, 97.
Wow.
I bought it brand new. This guitar was $1,279 out the door. It's got the arch top.
Yeah.
It's absolutely.
They came out with the blue ones in '97. I thought the blue ones came out a little later. Wow.
Yeah. This neck, I don't even know if the video is going to do it justice, but it's just a deep, rich maple with 1,000 bird's eyes all over it.
Yeah, I can tell.
You can see a bunch of them right there, yeah.
Here, I'll go down. it looks like I got a decent focus. But wait till you see the back of the neck of this guitar. Yeah, that looks good. Can you see that good?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Watch when I flip this. This is incredible.
That's insane. That is insane.
It looks like a million ladybugs all over it.
It's crazy. Look at that.
Yep, the back absolutely looks, it kills the front, but the front looks great.
Yeah, that's sick. That is sick.
And that neck is totally straight. There's not anything wrong with that neck at all. And with all those birds, you would think that that neck would look like this, but it doesn't. It's perfect.
And thankfully, I mean, I never banged them up. You know, this is got the cherry. You know, even the back of the freaking headstock looks awesome. You know,
Yeah.
It's funny. I haven't took a real hard look at this guitar until recently because when I got the striped one, actually Dave came by. We hung out. It was the first time he was playing through the rig setup I have, and I had this in E flat for a while, but I think standard does it more justice, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more alive. This guitar kind of died a little bit when I went to E flat. You know?
Well, I also set it up where, you know, you had action where you could play slide on it. It was really high. The action was high. I straightened it out and made the action low. So.
Yeah, I didn't. That thing needed some attention, but it didn't need a lot of it. Yeah. You know, right? I mean, a couple of tweaks.
It was easy. It was an easy fix. It wasn't. It wasn't hard to fix. It just needed some love.
That's it. That's my 5 spot of Wolves. I got something pretty cool that's going to be coming down the pike in probably, I would say, the next month. You know, give or take a couple of days. But I'm a huge hockey fan, and I'm a New York Islander fan. You know, it's pretty embarrassing these days, but I love the team, and I love VH, and I engaged someone to do a custom build, and I'm actually having a replica like 5150, like the stripe pattern, everything, but just done in the flavor of the Islanders. So to be the white stripes will be true. It's going to be an orange guitar. All the black stripes will be royal blue. There was a 4-year swath where they won the Stanley Cup 4 years in a row from 80 to 83. So in place of the 5150, there's going to be orange space tape, you know, with like a black outline that'll say 80-83. Be a little bit smaller font, you know, put a hyphen in there. And he actually replicated the Kramer font on the headstock, and it's going to actually say Islanders.
Nice.
So it's going to, and then a couple of, you know, where the star is at the top of the headstock, there'll be like a little Islander logo, and you know, I'm thinking about putting another logo underneath the tone knob, and
well, you're gonna have to put a little logo. You're gonna have to put a little logo in the middle of the top horn, where the star is on the top horn.
Right here.
Yeah.
Right here.
And guys, I've seen photos of the headstock already, and it looks fantastic. It really does. It's just ridiculous how nice the guitar is gonna look.
And you know, I'm gonna make it look like a new guitar. It's not, you know, you're not gonna have any of the overspray. You know, nice, straight, defined lines. I'm gonna clear coat it. Yeah, just, you know, it's just a kind of mending the two worlds and just kind of going a little to the left and a little to the right. You know. Just,
yeah, it's gonna look brand spanking new. It's gonna shine. Beautiful. Good luck with that one, Pete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. You know, and it's that's it. I think I hit my quota for the year.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. I'm interested in. You'll have to come back when you get that thing.
No, absolutely. It's and I'll play it. You know, I'm not getting it to hang it on a wall. I want to be able to take that out in the fall and, you know, piss off Ranger fans. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, you should you know, be invited to play the Star Spangled Banner in where the Rangers play. You know, that little place in the city there, that little place, you know, Madison Square Garden.
It's actually funny that I think that's the only arena, the Garden, that they actually have an organ player with a guitar player. and they play tunes together. Every hockey arena usually just has a keyboard guy, and they'll pipe in some house music here and there. But at the Garden, they got a guitar player. It's actually pretty funny.
That's cool.
At any game, they'll just start ripping Queen for no apparent reason.
Yeah. I know it.
But definitely not a Ranger fan. Just going on record and saying that right now.
I'm not even into sports, so I'm not a fan of anything.
Johnny, what do you got? What do you got for us? You got something to show us, pal?
Hey, Kevin. Are you looking at this, Kevin? Kevin says, "Hey, Johnny, just saying hi to you and the gang on patrol tonight." He's a cop.
Yeah, I know, Kevin.
We'll
What's
catch
going
the
on,
chat
buddy?
later when it quiets down. Cool. If you're watching this, man, stay safe out there, dude.
Yeah, stay safe, Kev. Definitely.
Yeah.
Kevin's been messaging me recently, and what a great guy he is. Awesome.
Yeah, him and I, we've been talking for months.
Yeah.
Months. Long time.
Good stuff.
Let's see. Somebody. How do you pronounce your name? Synner?
Swiner?
Signer.
Signer? Says.
Signer. Sinner.
Sinners. He says Dave is good with nuts, eh?
Wow.
Because Rob said that, or somebody said Dave was good with nuts.
And I really thought that went over everyone's head.
No, I heard it.
But so there's always someone. There's always someone in the crowd.
Yeah. After I said it, I said, you know what, someone's going to pick up on that. But in all actuality, when I had my Kramer Neptune out there, Dave made an adjustment to the Floyd nut. And actually, I think he put a brand new Floyd nut on it because the one I had on there was kind of a piece of crap. And he put a couple shims under there. And, yeah, Dave, you can't, someone's going to pick up on it,
Whatever. Enjoy yourself.
Wow.
Enjoy yourself with your nuts.
But no, I was 100% serious with that. But
Hey, Thomas says you have another cop that is, You have another cop that is a fan. Great work. Sorry, I have to open this so I can read the whole thing. Where is it? It's being there. Somebody wants in. Or out.
That's my dog. I don't think he likes the sound of someone's voice in this group. And he's upstairs. I'm in the basement with the door shut. And he hears it.
Oh. Thomas. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, this is obvious. Yeah, you guys is what he said. But yeah, you have another cop that is a fan. Great work, you guys. Thank you very much, Thomas.
Thomas, you rock. Be safe, brother.
Yeah, stay safe out there, man. Who else? We know another cop, Jimmy.
yeah, Jimmy Delgos.
Right?
Well, he was in law enforcement like me for years and years, and he actually works for he's still in law enforcement, but he actually works for a special airport agency right now. He's not necessarily patrolling the beat like he used to, but yeah, there's a lot of guys in law enforcement. Nesdall, you used to be a cop, didn't you?
No, not me, my father.
Your dad, okay, that's right. Your dad.
Yep, my father retired after 33 years.
Yep.
Stefan. Says that his name is really Stefan, the Synner.
Oh.
I am the guy on Instagram that received a lovely broken guitar from musician's friend. Well, that sucks.
Yeah, that blows.
That does suck.
Well, I'm sure they made it right, though.
Man.
Well, musician's friend is Guitar Center, so I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
Kyle Norton says, "Hey guys." Hey Kyle.
What's up, Kyle?
Jaden James 104 says, "What's up? here in California. Found your July 4th show and loved it. Came home and saw this. Big Charvel fan and owner. Cool show. Thumbs up and subscribed. Thank you very much, Jaden James 104. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh yeah, and somebody you were asking where's the chat window? Yeah, we don't do the chat window in here because we do these things live, and yeah, some Hangouts have a chat window where people can all talk to each other, you know.
Yeah.
But the thing is that doesn't save. Like once I hit done, all that conversation is just gone. So it's cool to it's better just to do it in the comments below because that all saves. And people can talk to each other down there as long as you're looking at it. Because I was watching your hangout with Mully, Nesdall, yesterday. I was actually at Target in Walnut Creek, and I just happened to get a notification on my phone that said Mully's live. So I clicked it and I was watching it, and since I was signed in, I was able to watch it and chat at the same time.
Yeah, that was a good time. It was a lot of fun.
Although was that the chat window that I was using? I don't know. It might have been. Whoops. I think.
Well, but it's there. I mean, he that's the way he does it, you know. And if it goes away, it goes away, you know.
He also deletes a lot of his stuff
chooses to do it one way. He chooses to do it another way. It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he kept it because he cursed on it. So it's up there. You know.
Yeah. Well, I watched it this morning,
Okay.
and I'll put a link in the description of this video, so you guys can watch David Nesdall's hangout with Mully from yesterday.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Mully's new guitar is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, he texted me yesterday. He had a couple questions on removing the bar from the Floyd. He messaged me, and I think he finally got it off.
He did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
That's a beautiful guitar. Beautiful.
What kind of guitar was it?
Music Man Axis EX. It's like a white creamish looking thing. Gorgeous, gorgeous music.
It's the body. The body is an older body. It's for all intents and purposes, it's an exact duplicate of an early '90s Music Man Eddie Van Halen guitar. Really, the only difference is it doesn't have the signature on the top of the headstock, and it doesn't say St. Louis Obispo on the back of the headstock. But it is. There are rumors, which I absolutely believe, that they are the leftover bodies and necks from the actual Van Halen project from '95. Yeah. So you know, so that's basically it. They're just put together in Japan, but they're all American. All the parts are exactly the Van Halen parts, including the pickups.
When Music Man kind of abandoned the Eddie Van Halen Music Man signature guitars, like Dave said, in '95, my old blue one was one of the last ones that was made. I have Young Guitar and Player magazines that almost immediately, once they stopped production of those guitars, all of a sudden you started seeing these Ernie Ball Music Man EX models. Axis guitars, but they said EX. And on the headstock, it didn't say Axis. The only difference was it didn't have the signature, and and everything was essentially exactly the same as the Eddie Van Halen model. I've owned 2 Axis EX guitars, and I have to say, they were almost, to me, they were very different than the actual Axis guitars. They almost felt like identical Eddie Van Halen guitars. And as Dave said, there was all these rumors going around, and I also, like Dave, believe this information that they were all leftover bodies and necks that they put together and made these Axis EX guitars just to kind of use them up and not necessarily have the Eddie Van Halen name on them. And you know, the nice thing about the Axis EX guitars is they're a fraction of, well, I shouldn't say fraction. You can pick them up for $1,200, $1,300, $1,500, around between $1,200 and $1,500. still all day long. And they're essentially an Eddie Van Halen Music Man guitar.
And you can still get them for that price. You can still get them for that price right now.
I just saw 3 of them on eBay for, one was 13, 14, and 1500. Beautiful guitars. And anybody...
I have one more thing to say about it. The coolest thing about them, and I think basically they're a little cooler than the original Music Man version because they don't have the signature on the headstock, which makes them look exactly like Eddie's prototype guitar, or all of his prototypes, because none of his prototypes had his signature on the headstock. So if you were to get a yellow one, it would be more like Eddie's than the actual model.
I had a yellow amber one, and right now my old guitar belongs to Jimmy Douglas. He has my old Axis EX, and it's got that, the body's almost identical to Eddie's. It looks just like Dave, yours and mine. It looks just like our Music Man's, but like you said, it doesn't have the signature. So that's actually a better choice if you're going to make an Eddie Van Halen, copy.
A replica of it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
they're
great guitars. All the hardware is the same. The pickups are the same. The Floyd's the same. Everything.
In fact, I'm almost positive that they're black bottoms, just like the old Eddie Van Halen ones.
Mm-hmm.
Black bottom DiMarzio's.
Yeah, and also anybody
back.
Anybody who's ever
black back.
Anybody who's ever taken the full noses off their Music Man guitars, if you take, this is my original Eddie Van Halen, and I've done this to my Axis EX guitars too, because like this one, I've put brass blocks in some of my Music Mans. If you take the bridge off these guitars, and also the Axis EX guitars, there is a hole drilled center right through the wood, and I think the hole was made, well, I've heard some different reasonings behind it. I remember I first took it off, and what the heck is this hole doing here in the middle of the body, right where the Floyd sits? It has something to do with the positioning of the tops and the bottoms of the guitars, the maple tops.
Right.
And it has something to do with the positioning of, joining the two pieces together, Dave, something like that?
You know what? You probably know more about that than I do, because I was gonna say that that's how they hung the guitars up when they were painting them. So
Well,
you probably know more about it than I do.
It could be, Dave. You might be right, but I remember reading something on the Ernie Ball forums that it had something to do with, they did it to, Music Man did that to all their bodies, Eddie Van Halen's Axis bodies, Axis EX bodies. They did it to all the bodies in production, and I could have sworn it was something to do with the positioning of the Floyds and the binding or something like that. But hey, it could have been that. It could have been hanging the bodies. But that's another reason why I honestly believe that those Axis EX bodies are original Eddie Van Halen leftover bodies, because they're absolutely identical to these. They really are.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
But the one that Mully has, it's a color that I don't think was ever available here.
No,
right?
You're right. It wasn't available, and the body is made out of alder instead of basswood and maple. So, they could have. I really believe that they were experimenting with different woods at that time.
Could be.
And they just they were leftovers, so they decided to make them. There was no one saying, no, I don't want you to make them out of that. I want you to make them out of this and this only. When they were making the Van Halen guitars, it was Eddie that said, I want it this way and that's it, and only these colors. So but once he stopped endorsing the guitar, they probably while he was endorsing that guitar was making other wood choices for him to approve, and he probably didn't approve them, and they didn't throw them out. They just made guitars out of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So those guitars then, the Japanese, what are the EX is what they're called?
Axis EX.
Yeah.
So those are all made after Eddie left?
No, they're probably leftovers from when Eddie still was with them.
Right.
They had instead of destroying them, they just made guitars out of them.
Yeah, and
without
left
a signature.
But I mean, they were available though to the public after he left.
Yeah,
Yes,
but they were sold in
correct.
Japan. They weren't, for some reason, all those. I think what happened was what Dave's talking about too is all those parts that were in California were shipped overseas to Japan, and they basically just started putting them together, and they came up with this name, Axis EX. And then shortly after that is when the official Axis came out. I think the Axis EX guitars were literally like a 6 to 8 month time period that they did that, and then all of a sudden, boom, the Axis came out, and the toggle switch was repositioned. They put Axis
Well,
on.
I'm gonna go one better than that, Rob. Is that yes, it was about 6 to 8 months, but it was only until they ran out of them. So they sold them until they ran out of them. They weren't making more. They were not making more. They just sold whatever they had. It was like a fire sale.
Yep.
Put them together in Japan. Let the Japanese public deal with it. It's far enough away from Van Halen and anything that has to do with Van Halen, but they'll get sold, and that's it.
How many do you think were in that run when you look back?
Well, I would think there's probably 1,000 or less, because they did not make many Van Halen guitars each year to begin with.
Right.
So I would imagine that there are 1,000 or less.
The Van Halen guitars were 1,000 a year.
Yeah, there was only about
2,000 a year.
The Eddie Van Halen models. There was only about 5,000 of those produced from 1990.
I've got the quote.
Yeah.
See if I can find. I've got a video of Eddie saying. Exactly.
Yeah, I thought he said that they produce about 2,000 guitars a year, whereas most companies produce $25,000 a month, 25,000 of them a month or something like that.
I'm pretty sure the total was between 5,000 and 6,000 Eddie Van Halen's total were made in that 5.5 year span. And like Dave said, they had all these bodies and necks, and for that 6 to 8 months, they sent them over to Japan, and boom, they just put them all together and threw Axis EX names on them. And those Axis EX guitars are awesome. They're Eddie Van Halen.
Absolutely.
I've owned 2 of them, and they're awesome.
And they don't say Axis EX or Axis on them at all anywhere. They do not say, they don't have that name on them at all.
It just says Music Man on the headstock, right?
Headstock looks
correct, just like that. Correct.
What did he have, a 5.5 year run with Music Man, you said?
90 to 95.
So
yeah.
Is it possible he bailed on a 6-year deal, and that's why they had him all left over, and the Axis was born?
No,
so
that deal would have gone on. It would have gone on for as long as Eddie, and they were getting along. But I don't, I don't. We're not going to talk about whatever bad publicity there might be.
They were filling
behind it
guitars well after the end of the Eddie Van Halen Music Man relationship. I have from the inside.
That's right.
I mean, they were in the process of making Peavy's, and Ernie Ball Music Man was still fulfilling their orders for these guitars.
That's right, and I'm proof of that. I'm proof of that because I worked at Manny's Music in Manhattan, from '95 till '98, and well into the middle, almost the end of '96, were we still getting the Music Man guitars for people that had ordered them.
Yeah.
The very last one that I sold to a customer that was waiting for one was a green one. And that's why, I mean, when I saw that particular guitar that I gave that customer, the quilt on that guitar was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was probably the prettiest guitar I've ever seen in my life. It was so good that I was like, how am I going to buy this guitar? It belongs to someone. I'll give this guy anything. But the guy was like, when I gave it to the guy, it was like love at first sight. There was no way he was selling it.
And it's so unfortunate because Music Man had just about figured out the UV dye process that they had on these tops. in '95. The earlier guitars. I mean, I was just on eBay earlier today, and I noticed a purple guitar, and it's so faded. It's a purple one, and it's so faded it almost looks white. And it was an early '90s guitar. I've been lucky. My amber one here. This is a '93, and it's still not faded at all. I mean, it's got some really nice quilt on it. It's very similar to Nesdall's. This one, mine is very similar to Nesdall's. And my blue ones that I've owned were also not faded. But my blue one was a '95, and I read somewhere on one of the forums that by 1995, the beginning of '95, Music Man had changed their dye process. So these guitar tops weren't quite as susceptible to massive amounts of fading, you know.
Right.
And you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of unfortunate that they didn't have a longer run, you know.
Didn't that guitar come out of the gate in like more of a sky blue color anyway? It wasn't like a deep, rich blue, right?
Well, no, it wasn't a rich, deep blue anyway. It ended up the same color as it came in. It was basically a light aqua. And Rob's guitar looked exactly like the way the original ones in '91 looked. They were gorgeous. You know, the blue one was probably, in my opinion, the most shocking, beautiful color on a guitar that they made.
Yeah.
It's just that it wasn't as popular because, I mean, you never saw Eddie playing one. So
Right.
the most popular colors were, of course, the yellow, the green, because Eddie played a green one as well, the purple one. Those three were basically the most popular ones, and the red one. You know, they made some red ones too. And the first one that we actually saw Eddie playing in the studio was a red one. A red,
Right.
I think it was a flame top, right? Right, Johnny?
Yes.
Actually,
Yes. Well, no, quilt.
no, it's a quilt. Here's the picture right here. I got a poster.
Okay. I found his quilt.
Is it a quilt?
Yeah, it's a quilt.
Yeah, that's
a
the
quilt.
picture. That's the photo.
Yeah, it's a quilt.
Oh,
Real
okay.
quick, I've got that poster signed by him to somebody named Mike.
Cool.
A guy named Mike sold it to me. He was actually there at NAMM
Awesome.
when they debuted those, and he was telling me stories how a girl, like he was signing posters, and a girl comes up and spills his drink, and so he got mad or something and took off. Okay, I found those videos. You guys want to hear this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this is something I'll never upload to YouTube, so if you want to hear it and see it, you'll only see it right here.
Johnny, is this the video from Amsterdam, Holland, when he was doing the Veronica show in '95? Because he also says that then, too.
No. No. I'll play it. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can show it. Can I
You
show
probably can't, Johnny. It's probably not a good idea to show it.
it? No, I can, because it's not music.
Okay.
Okay, but it's broken into like 3 clips. So, okay, it says they made 1,000. Okay, I'll play each of these clips a couple times so you guys can hear and see this. Hang on. So everybody wants to see this on YouTube, and I'm not going to upload it, but I'll show it on here. It's going to have to restart.
And that's very little. There's only 1,000 made, and that's very little, considering that, I won't mention any of the companies, but the majority of guitar companies make about 25,000 a month. We're only making 1,000 of these in a year. There's only 1,000.
Okay. So they're clips. So here's the next one.
I want every guitar to be to the point where saying, okay, this is my main one right now. You know, they come in like 6 different colors: black, pink, purple. You know, that purple, whatever. But this happens to be my favorite one because I want every guitar to be to the point where saying, okay, this is my main one right now. You know. They come in like 6 different colors: black, pink, purple. You know, that purple. And flavor, but this happens to be my favorite one because it's the first like production one.
Oh, really?
I use this one on the whole record. You know, they come in like 6 different colors, black.
There you go. Yeah, it's from Instagram is where I put it, so it's like kind of like cut up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
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 Anyway, yeah, people have been wanting to see that, and
That was good stuff.
so I don't know if you heard. Yeah, so he said they only make 1,000 in a year.
That's not bad.
Yeah. I also have a clip, too, where he says the same thing from the secret gig in '95. He's being interviewed backstage, and he essentially says the same thing. He says they've been making them for about 5 years, and they do about 1,000.
How many orders do you think they fulfilled on the White American so far since NAMM?
All of them.
Yeah, but I think Peters is the only one that's left that's not relicked by Chris Hubbard on the East Coast.
Neither is mine.
Oh, that's right. Well, yet.
No, I'm not getting it. I'm not doing it.
It's too pretty.
I'm not doing it. I'm not following the trend. I'm sorry, not going to do it.
The guitar's too nice. It's too nice. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I don't care that it's nice or not. I'm not going to relic it because now everyone's getting it done, and mine and Pete's will be the only ones that are not relicked, which will make it that much cooler.
So they sold 4, you think, so far?
But you guys live like a block from each other. Shouldn't one of you have one relicked?
No, because Rob lives on the East Coast and his is relict.
He's like 3 hours away from you.
That's still not bad considering that you're like a day away.
Am I? No, I'm like 6 hours away from you.
Well,
By plane.
That's if I want to spend the money on taking a plane to see you.
Yes. Yes. And by the way, thank you everybody for watching these things. We got 34 people looking at us so far. People, I guess. Oh man,
nice.
We got 1 million comments and questions.
All right, let's go. Get to it.
Let's see.
I'm going to find that other one.
Narrator.
Back Johnny up.
Guitar Jesus says, what kinds of acoustic guitars did Ed use in the David Lee Roth years? And also, have you guys ever done any replicas of any of his acoustics?
Hey Johnny, can I play a? Go ahead. I'm sorry. I found what I was looking for to back you up.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna play this.
Into a documentary of a day in the life of Van Halen. A little earlier there, we saw the guys down at the radio station. Now we're joining them just at the end of sound check before tonight's gig, and as you can see, Eddie's joined me again. And Eddie, actually, before we actually go on and talk about your guitars, I know you were interviewed out. You wouldn't believe the amount of talking these guys have had to do over the last
Something
few days.
I don't enjoy doing. No.
Well,
No, with you it's okay.
thank you, that's very sweet. Now, actually, before we talk about your guitars, a lot of viewers are interested in your techniques and effects you use and so on. I just wanted to actually say that tonight we're playing in a very small, intimate club, and I'm sure it's great for you to get back into this kind of environment with the fans right up in your face kind of thing. This is kind of the connection with Cabo Wabo Club, isn't it?
It's actually very similar, yeah. Actually, our club's bigger.
Yeah, no, this is actually a club that you have in, is it South America?
It's, what do you call it? Baja, California. The very tip of Baja, California. So it's actually Mexico, yeah.
And you just go down there and jam?
Well, that actually started out Sammy's brainstorm, because he had a condominium down there, and he goes, hey, guys, let's build a club down there so we can play. And it's been great. There's a lot of bands like Alice in Chains, some members of Guns N' Roses and Metallica. They all go down there for vacation and get up and jam at night just for the hell of it. You know? Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I feel very at home here in this kind of environment tonight. Now, tell us a little bit about the guitar, because this is one that you custom.
Basic rundown of equipment. You know, I mean, the heart and soul of my gear is this guitar and the amp, which is a PV5150 head, and the Music Man guitar, which I guess we've been selling for about 4 or 5 years, something like that. And wow, it's nothing. There's no special tricks to it or anything. It's just really a good piece of wood, and the neck is computerized copy of an old favorite trick of mine. So when you pick it up in a store, it feels like it's been played. You know what I mean? It's not. It doesn't have that brand new kind of alien feeling. And basically, the thing I was looking for, we only make like about 2,000 a year, which isn't very many at all. Most companies crank out about 25,000 a month. So the quality is really cool. I remember the last tour, I was hanging with the guys from Black Sabbath, Tony Iommi. They asked me to come jam with them, and my equipment had already left for London. So I said, hey, I got no equipment. Is there a music store around? So I went to a local store and borrowed one of my guitars that was for sale. It was identical to mine, which is great to know. You know?
That's right, yes. They're very...
Effects-wise, well, if you want to see it, I use actually cabinet-wise, I use a dry cabinet in the middle, which is basically foolproof. So if my effects blow up, I won't lose anything. And I got 2 outside cabinets which have the effects going through them. And it looks like a lot of stuff, but it's actually really simple. I use a harmonizer and an echo for each side, which I have set differently. And the rest is cordless units and backup echo units. A noise gate, because when you turn everything all the way up, you tend to get an unbearable hiss.
Right, so you have to...
And that's a power amp down there for the effects cabinets. And that's basically, and I use some real goofy old MXR push pedal stuff, which you can't even buy anymore. But actually, I use those more than the rack stuff. You know.
So there's guitarists out there amongst you. I hope that made sense to you. It's very interesting.
It is right here.
It is, of course. I mean, when you did the album, did you do a lot? Did you spend a lot of time getting guitar sounds in the studio, or is it simple?
In the studio, I don't use all this stuff. I just use one cabinet with one guitar, and that's it. And we add the effects later while you mix. Yeah.
How many guitars might you use on a tour or take with you out on tour, like a big tour like Bon Jovi tour coming up?
I'll take probably 4 or 5, but if I'm lucky and it's a good evening, I'll only need one. You know, because really I prefer to play my main guitar. You know, I mean, it's really weird because the guitar starts kind of becoming part of you if it's your main instrument. You know what I mean?
And it feels comfortable.
Yeah. So if I don't break a string, I play this one all night.
And final question. Do you practice every day?
I haven't played in a month, so it's going to be interesting tonight. But because we've been so busy doing interviews, but obviously when we're on tour, yeah, I play every day.
Well, thanks for that insight into your guitars, and we'll let you go off because I know you've got other things to do to get ready for the show.
Yeah, like take a nap.
Yes, absolutely. So.
Yeah, so there's just a little interesting little blurb. But now there he's actually said 2,000 a year.
2,000, yeah.
That's where I got that number from, because that's the interview that I remember.
Yeah.
But he says 1,000 in this other one, right?
Yeah, and that was.
And you know what? That's I would probably say in '91 when he did the first interview, they probably made 1,000 guitars, and then towards the end, I'm sure since his name was all over it, I'm sure he wanted to know how much money he was making, so it probably ended up being 2,000 a year.
Yeah, I bet they started cranking out more. Like Dave said, that one you showed, Johnny, was early 90s, and this one was 95, so a lot of things changed in 4 years, you know.
There's only 1,000 made, and that's very little, considering that, I won't mention any of the companies, but the majority of guitar companies make about 25,000 a month. We're only making 1,000 of these in a year.
Yeah.
So there's like, what, 4 years, 3 years in between this and that?
Yeah,
91 to 95.
I would say 4 years.
The one I played was the secret gig in the Luxor Club in the Netherlands, and that was January of February of '95, before the Balance tour kicked off.
Yeah, and this is him right outside 5150, right outside, taking the guitars out of his golf cart.
That guitar's got to be brand new too, because he doesn't even have the eyelets in there. He's still got the original. He's still got the original strap locks on there. He doesn't even have the eyelets in yet. That guitar hadn't broken in yet.
Yeah. Well, if you remember, inside the Chronology CD, he was playing the guitar and there was no eyelets.
Exactly.
It was just a regular strap.
Yep. I don't think he put the eyelets on until they went on tour.
You're probably right.
Yep. Yeah, so I think Dave's right. I bet you it was about 1,000 when they first started making them, and then by '95 they were probably cranking out close to 2,000. They were probably cranking out a little bit more, you know. Which brings us to our original wrap up on this whole topic: the Axis TX bodies and the necks. They had a surplus of those bodies and necks left over that they just had to do something with. So they ship them off to Japan, and they put them together, and they basically make Eddie Van Halen, Ernie Ball Music Mans, but they essentially just make them, you know, call them an Axis. And then the original Axis guitars are released with a toggle switch move and the belly cut in the back, you know, with Axis on and stuff.
I could see the reserves on eBay going up by $200 as we speak.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no kidding, huh?
So, Johnny, tell us about that gift that you got there.
I think he stepped away.
Or not.
Johnny is gone. He's probably putting his chickens away.
Yeah, probably.
Rob, how long do you and David know each other, man?
You know, Dave and I have been watching each other's guitar collections and aware of each other for probably well over 10, 15 years.
Yes.
We've only become friends within the last, I think, year. Johnny and I have known each other since '98. You know, since 1998. And Johnny Bean and I have been friends for a long, long time. Dave and I kind of just hooked up about a year ago. You know, just one of those days. I was just like, hey, you know, I got to touch base with this Dave Nesdall guy, and I actually sent him a message or on Facebook, and we just hit it off like immediately. And then next thing you know, Johnny, Dave, and I are doing hangouts, and you know, I've been out to see Dave, you know, one time at his place, and just become real good friends. And so it's actually only been about a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Rob and I, like
Pete. Go ahead.
Yeah, like Rob was saying, yeah, we met late '98, probably early '99 somewhere. Hey, Alan. Hey, Alan Garber. Hang on, I'll read your thing in 1 second. Yeah, Rob Johnson and I, we met late '98, early '99 somewhere, when I first got on the internet myself. And he would, I don't know if we ever talked on the phone. I think we would email maybe. But I would say within the past several years, we would Skype.
Yeah.
You would Skype me. You'd be like, "Hey, Johnny." You'd be like, "Hey, Johnny, want to talk about guitars?" And he would call me on Skype, and we'd talk on Skype, you know, once every couple years, or you know, just within the last like 5 years or something. And so eventually, I started doing these things, and David Nesdall, we started doing these kinds of things, and I thought about Rob. I'm like, well, wait a minute. We should get Rob. We should get Rob on these things. Yeah. I think that's what, I don't know.
Johnny, that's exactly how it happened. You said to me, "Hey, listen, Rob Johnson, you know Rob, right?" I'm like, "Well, I know his collection. I know his name, but I've never met him. And I know about his amazing collection of guitars." He's like, "Well, what do you think? You know, I get in touch with him to see if he wants to do these things." And I said, "Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it." And shortly thereafter, you know, Rob and I like started, you know, a good friendship. It was, you know, it was just, you know, it was as easy as the friendship I have with Johnny. It was, and the friendship that I have with Johnny, we know each other a few years, but how I know him is I was on YouTube and I saw, you know, I saw these lessons, you know, these Van Halen lessons. You type in Van Halen on YouTube, and you see all of these little lessons that this guy Johnny Bean gives. And you know, and I'm like, Johnny Bean. It's his name is everywhere. It's like, you know, white on rice. You know, it's you know, so I could have said something else, but I meant, you know, white on rice. You know,
he's trying to be nice.
Poop, you know,
you could have said flies on something.
Poop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like.
So yeah, so I said, you know, there's got to be a way I can get in touch with him. So I friended him on Facebook. I found him on Facebook. I think the guitarist Johnny Bean one first.
You liked my guitarist Johnny Bean page.
I liked your page, and I said, hey,
I remember that.
You know, we have the same interests. You know, would you, if I gave you my number, would you want to call me and talk? And that's what happened. He called me, and he was like, hey, it's Johnny Bean. You know, the way he says that all the time.
He's like,
to this day. Like I don't know who he is, you know. It's like he calls me and he says, "Hey man, it's Johnny Bean." I'm like, no kidding, really? You know, and it was instant. Our friendship was instant.
Awesome.
So Pete, the same with me and you. You know, I'll say this: Van Halen. Thank you, Eddie Van Halen. Thank you, Van Halen, because you make friendships between people that love you and your band very easy. So if you're hearing this, anyone in Van Halen or in that camp, thank you so much, because you've given me some great friends.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, babies being born at Woodstock, you know.
That's great.
You know. Yeah. No, it's yeah, I've met a lot of people through people that like, you know, this music, these guitars. You know, it's cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, Dave Nesdall and I, we talk all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
And same with Rob. You know, Rob and I, we would only talk maybe once every couple years. You know.
But we would talk on the phone, though. We did talk on the phone a bunch of times.
Yeah, you would call me. Yeah. We would talk on the phone and talk, and then that's when I kind of figured out, well, when Dave and I, when we started doing this thing, I thought, well, why don't we just do this like this, you know?
Yeah.
But make it public, so other people can watch, you know, and learn about, you know, this stuff, because we would talk about this stuff anyway.
Yeah. Watch our madness.
You know? Yeah. So why not just do it? You know, I mean, do it in public, you know, and make it to where other people can watch, enjoy, and learn about this stuff. And Alan Garber. Alan, I can't think of any others. Can you guys think of any? Huh? Let me read Alan's thing here real quick. So somebody.
You got like 5 minutes to read it?
we got a million comments here. Okay, so guitar, Jesus, or would it be what Jesus? Is that it?
Jesus is fine. It's okay.
Guitar Jesus sounds great.
I don't know which it is. So the original comment question. Huh? What happened? Oh, whoops.
Johnny's all confused.
No, I'm using a browser I'm not signed into, and I went to like the comment, not thinking about it, and I got kicked out. Hang on. So the original. There it is. What kinds of acoustic guitars did Ed use in the David Lee Roth years? I know he used an Ovation.
Yes, it was an Ovation nylon string guitar, probably from like 1978, 79. And he used that on Spanish Fly. And I don't know what the steel string guitar he used on Take Your Whiskey Home. But I think
he might say
Go
actually say in that interview with Stephen Rosen. There's an audio interview from '79, where they're talking about the
Well,
recording of that album.
I'll tell you what it sounds like to my ears. You know, I can only speculate, but I do know the different sounds of the major brands. It sounds like some sort of maybe Gibson Hummingbird or Gibson Dove, something like that. It's a Gibson, I believe it's a Gibson acoustic, because it doesn't sound like a Martin, and Gibsons have a very, it sounds like that guitar, you know, that style of guitar on the record, you know, and that's, you know, that's my best guess, because you can make anything sound like anything in the studio, but that's my best guess, is that it's some sort of Gibson acoustic.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, yeah, we all know about the photo of him holding a Roth's acoustic on the inside cover of Diver Down.
Right.
Because Roth played acoustic during Ice Cream Man intro.
Right.
Yes.
All those years.
Yeah.
On tour. So the original question: have any of you guys ever done replicas of any of his acoustics?
No.
Probably not.
No, you know, that's probably the hardest thing in the world to do, is build an acoustic guitar.
Dave, hey, Dave,
you actually need some sort of heat unit and
those are the real guitar
steam
builders.
Yeah, you need some
Guys who
sort of
build
like
acoustic
steam unit to bend the sides of the guitar. It's just it's a real pain in the rear end. So it's hard to do.
Dave, you should do one of those Dave sickles. You should do one of Roth's Dave sickles.
Oh yeah, no, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Although I will tell you, I will give you guys a little snippet, a little something. Is I'm sending a check to get the Vetus body, the body of the Vetus Garolitis guitar, for my next build from Chris Locke tomorrow. I believe tomorrow, or maybe early next week, but I'll be doing that soon.
Nice, you're doing a Vetus guitar. Sweet.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. I mean, the original guitar is right in my face all the time, so it makes no sense not to do it.
Yeah. You've played the real guitar.
I have
Anytime.
photos of me. I have photos of me holding it and playing it. It's not the best playing guitar in the world, but it is absolutely a religious experience to hold that guitar.
You said it's horrible, huh?
Well, you know, I believe that the truss rod in that guitar is either not working correctly or it's broken, because that guitar has recently been set up and the action does not get lower.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just doesn't. You know, it's playable. I mean, you've all seen the YouTube of Tommy Coletti, the owner of Music Zoo, playing and talking about that guitar, and he is actually playing that guitar. It is playable, but the action is a bit high, and it's not the easiest guitar in the world to play. But Tommy is such an amazing guitar player that he could play anything with any action. It doesn't matter. He's that good. So
did they set that guitar up at all, or have they just left it?
Yeah. That guitar is set up. It's got brand new strings on it, or fairly new strings on it now. But I mean, I know the tech very well over at the Music Zoo, and for Tommy to play that, to do that video, they had to set the guitar up the best they could so he could play it.
Yeah.
And the action is still a little bit high, but it's better than it was. It's just, it's not gonna play any better, but the guitar is absolutely a brilliant guitar. It's so cool.
Yeah, because that's a 1982 or 83 Kramer that has.
I would say it's probably an 81 or an 82.
That's an Unkert guitar. It's a Paul Unkert guitar too.
That is definitely a Paul Unkert guitar.
But it's a guitar that probably hasn't been set up in decades.
Probably not. But I mean, it was just recently set up, so and I would only imagine that Eddie gave it to Vetus because it wasn't the best playing guitar he had with him at the time, and it wasn't something that he would use on stage. I've never seen him use it on stage. that was primarily his warm-up guitar in whatever closet they were sitting in before the concert, you know.
Mm-hmm. And that was Diver Down.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
diving.
That was in '82. So yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm thinking that guitar was a late '81, very early '82 guitar.
Mm-hmm.
It does have a vintage prototype Floyd nut on it, but the bridge, the actual Floyd Rose, is not a whale tail Floyd Rose. It is like a first year production Floyd Rose, like I have on my white Pacer. It's very early, so and that's my white Pacer is an '82 guitar, so you know that's where that's at, and I believe it also has a Gibson PAF from the late '50s in it.
Since we're talking about it, let me just show it.
That is the guitar right there.
That's the guitar.
Yep.
So it was basically a backup Frankie is what it was.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So cool. Hey, Alan, did you want me to read your comments? Ah. Because Alan, your comments you messaged me. It's a message. I'll read them if you want me to. Let's just let me see. Yeah, there's like a million comments here. Brent Cohn says, "What's up?"
What's up,
Brent Xerox.
He also says, "Oh, Alan says no, that's okay. David covered it." Okay, cool. Cool. Brent says, "You guys rock. Van Halen stuff is the greatest. Love this show." Thank you, man.
Thanks, Brent.
Good stuff.
Yeah, thank you, Brent.
The nickname for me is Ice Cream Cone. So, I'm sure you've never heard that before.
Ice cream cone?
Ice Cream Cone. Like I said, I'm sure he's never heard that before in his entire life. Nobody's ever called him Ice Cream Cone.
Yeah.
Wow. Everybody asks me if I'm related to Jim Beam. That's all I hear nonstop.
Yeah, you get an endless supply of free Jim Beam, right? Yeah.
Are you related to Jim Beam?
Or are you related to Mr. Bean?
Mr. Bean, yeah.
I've never gotten that. I guess I'll just have to be blurry.
Yes.
What?
Oh,
I just acted like Mr. Bean for a second.
Oh.
Okay. Actually,
Yeah, I've never seen him, so I don't know what he does.
You got it.
I have something to.
Go ahead.
Go, Dave. Finish your train of thought.
I was gonna say, Johnny, if you like spaghetti, you're gonna love Mr. Bean. You really have to YouTube Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when I Google myself, all I see is him. So.
Yeah, but you got to click on it because you're gonna die laughing. He's just so funny.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Rob.
I'll make this quick. I was just going to say, people on Instagram have been replying to Chris Hubbard's posts on the guitar body that he's doing for me, and the thing looks absolutely insane. Those of you guys on Instagram that are friends with me or friends with Hubs, you can see some of the pictures of the body that he's just about ready to ship back to me. It looks phenomenal. So there's a few questions today about, hey, is Rob going to, is he going to relic the headstock at all on this thing? Here's the headstock. Here's the neck. And I originally wasn't going to. And there just seems to be an overwhelming majority of people that want me to relic this headstock. And it's actually a pretty simple thing to do, because all you got to do is just take an X-Acto knife and scar/score headstock. So for those of you that are wondering, yes, I'm going to be relicking this headstock, and it's probably going to be a weekend project, because I'm probably not going to get to this week, but I definitely want to have it done for when the body comes back, and the body could come back anywhere between Friday and Monday or Tuesday next week. So I have this picture that I printed out today, and as you can see, this is what my headstock is going to look like, and it's going to be done with an X-Acto knife, and I will be scoring the headstock to match the body. So yeah, you guys won the battle. I wasn't going to do it, but because of overwhelming majority of people saying that I should do it, I'll make you guys happy. We'll make it a real, true, complete project. So I will be scoring this neck.
So if you're going to do that, Rob, then you're going to have to dirty the back of that neck as well.
Well, see, that's the other part of that. Not only the back of the neck, Dave, definitely dirtying the back of the neck and potentially kind of hitting and rusting the
Floyd nut.
Yeah, a little bit of there, because there is. You guys can tell on the actual tuners. You can see they're kind of pitted a little bit.
Yeah.
And kind of a little rust there. So that's nothing more than just taking a little water, adding some salt, and then just dabbing, kind of going around the perimeter a little bit, and they'll rust within a day. But in addition to kind of dirtying up the back of the neck, the other thing that I think I need to do, and I've actually found I have an idea what I think is going to work for this, is actually the back of the cavity, the trem claw cavity on Eddie's guitar is just real dirty looking, and the wood's all dirty. So I'm thinking of taking some graphite, getting it wet a little bit, and kind of rubbing it into the wood and making it look kind of dirty looking, almost like what we do with our 5150 bodies, to make that kind of charcoal-y kind of look.
Rob, what I'm going to do when we get off air is I'm going to give you the trade secret from what we do over here.
I thought Rob just blew it.
Nope.
I thought that was your secret.
What I do is something that everybody's been doing for a while. Dave has an actual secret recipe on those guitar necks of his that his buddy Nick does. So I can't wait to get off the air to get that.
I don't even know. I have no idea about this stuff.
So yeah, we'll do that. Actually, it's changed a little bit, but for the back cavity, we're going to do it the old-fashioned way, and it'll come out amazing. You'll love it.
Use
David,
cinnamon.
Some of your famous nut butter, is it?
It's called nut sauce, not nut butter.
Wow.
That ought to hang out like 6-8 months ago. Dave used the term nut butter, and I've never let him hear the end of it for using that.
It's not nut butter. No, it's nut sauce. Nut sauce, and it comes in a syringe, and you put it on the bone nut of a guitar, and it makes the string slide. It's basically just Vaseline in a syringe.
Yeah.
But the company is called Nut Sauce.
Dude, man, if somebody wanted to, they could edit all those words you just said together and make something hilarious.
Yeah, we'd have one
Go
of like.
ahead. Go ahead.
We'd have another one of those videos that somebody did on Broadbent that time. You remember the Hey man, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to make a video with Nesdall saying all these words together, that'd be funny.
Or me, make one of me. I'd love to see it. I really would.
Well, hey, real quick, since you're, Hey, Brent. Real quick, Rob. Thank you very much, man. Rob sent me this thing. Did I show this already? I don't think so.
No, you didn't. I've been trying to get you to do it.
Okay. All right. Rob was nice enough to send this to me. It's a Wolfgang Special Neck Mexico. There you go.
Awesome.
And yeah, it's amazing. Amazing necks. So I can't wait to make something out of this.
Yeah, it's a cool neck, and
you know?
when I took it off my Tobacco Mexico guitar, the only reason, like I've said it before, it came off is so I put the ebony one on. I married up the Mexican body with the Chinese ebony neck with the stainless frets, just because I really kind of wanted to create something different with my guitar. I had the neck sitting here, and I was going to throw it on eBay or whatever, and I just got thinking one day, and I'm like, you know what? I'm actually just going to send it to one of my buddies, and Johnny Bean has been the one who's put all these hangouts together and edits everything and takes the time to post all this stuff to the links and to basically make all this happen. And him and Dave are, like I said the other day, are literally two of my closest friends. They really are, and I really appreciate all the feedback I get from you guys and all the conversation and the good times and the laughs and the jokes and the serious stuff. And there's nothing more than I love doing these hangouts with the two of you guys and everybody else, like Pete and everybody else that comes on board. You know, Alan and Cubs and everybody, Eric, Rodman, everybody that comes on these hangouts. I love hanging out with these guys. But Johnny and Dave are basically the two guys that, you know, I always like to refer to the three of us as the three amigos, or sometimes the three stooges, you know, depending on what kind of a night or hangout we're having. But
yeah,
definitely,
I call us magpies. We're the three magpies.
But you know, I definitely wanted it to go to a good home, and I knew Dave really didn't have any projects that particular net probably would work on, and you know, I know Johnny's kind of always tinkering with stuff and always looking for some stuff to do, and I know Johnny really hasn't had any new Guitar Johnny nights, so I figured this could possibly start a project. So.
There hasn't been any.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be the first one eventually.
I hope you enjoyed.
By the way, Rob, what did you do with the black Floyd Rose nut that was on that neck?
I still have it.
Okay, you're gonna need this. You're gonna need to send that to Johnny, and I'll tell you why. Because a German Floyd nut, an R2 nut, will not fit on that neck. All of the special necks, for some reason or another, they do. You cannot put a German nut on it because the holes are either a little too far apart. They don't match up. So if you don't have a project for that nut, send that to Johnny so he'll have a nut for it, and I'll replace it for you. I'll give you one. You know.
No. I absolutely do not have a project for it. And Johnny, the only reason that nut did not come on that guitar when I sent it to you is because it had a chrome nut on it that I had put on it when I put chrome hardware on that guitar back a couple of months ago. You guys remember when I put the chrome hardware on? Yeah. So I have the original black nut, and I absolutely will send it your way because I don't have it, so not a problem whatsoever.
And Johnny, when you get that Floyd nut, if you want to make it chrome, all you have to do is just color it in with silver Sharpie pen, and you'll have a chrome nut for it. It actually matches up nicely.
Yeah.
Who, me?
Or I'll go one step further. Take a little sandpaper or get a sandblaster, sandblast it, take the black off, and then do what Dave said. Then color it, and it'll be even a little. It'll adhere to it a little bit better. If you rough up the surface, give that a little bit something to adhere to. It'll be even better.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't care. My guitars are like, you know, what do you call it? Mixed matched.
Parts casters.
Parts casters, whatever. I'll use chrome with black, with gold. I mean, I don't care. It's all.
And Johnny, I also have 6 black EVH tuners that I'd be happy to send your way too, that are just sitting here with doing nothing. And like I said, if I'd thought a little bit quicker, I would have threw that hardware on there and sent it to you. But I have the tuners and the nut, and I'd be more than happy, and probably and a string tree. So I'd be more than happy to send you the hardware you need if you don't mind the black stuff. And like Dave said, you can always color it in, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, whatever. It's all cool. Thank you very much, dude.
No problem. I hope you like it, buddy, and I can't wait to see what you do with it. And I know it was going to a good home.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited, man. Because yeah, those are great guitars. I've played them, of course.
Yeah.
You know, I play them at NAMM, and then you see them here and there at a guitar center.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I actually kind of strummed on a Stealth Mexico guitar last night at a guitar center. Brian Davies says, Johnny, can you thank Rob for answering my question? So that was I was texting you guys a question that he was asking me about the wood.
Yeah.
Remember that? Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was like yesterday, maybe this morning, I think. So he says, thank you, Rob, for the answers.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
I know. So I know it's getting late where you guys are. I don't know.
I'm good. I can keep on cranking. I don't have to be up early, and I'm. This is one of those very few nights I could go another hour if you guys want.
Well, Johnny, I know you know, if we can go a little longer, that's cool, because I know you probably got to do a W.
Yeah. A walk. It's okay. Howie can't hear you through. He can say walk.
Okay. Yeah.
You notice
Well,
how Howie
you know,
came out. Yeah, he's starting to realize, wait a minute, this is the time where I go, So, and I'm blurry, but so I don't know. So yeah, there's like a million questions. I like to read them on here and answer.
Yeah, please do. Let's do it. Let's do it, because other than the mailbox, we really have nothing else to show off. Pete, did you have anything else you wanted to show, Pete?
No, I'm good, Dave.
Pete, do you have any striped Kramers? Do you have any striped Kramers or EVH replicas, or just Music Mans and Wolfgangs, PDs?
No,
And...
I have I got this. Hold on. I was probably one of the last ones to get this guitar before everyone was shut down. This was a product of eBay. Not an exact, but
Nothing wrong with that. That looks awesome.
it's a nice playable guitar.
Yeah. What kind of guitar is that? I mean, as far as what kind of body and neck is it? Where'd it come from? Do you know? Have any history on it?
I have no idea.
Let me see the back of the body. Can I see the back of the body? I want to see the cavity is what I want to see. That is a real Kramer body.
It's like a Beretta body.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
Certainly is. And that is a real. What's the serial number on that plate? Because that looks like it could be like an 86 or an 87 plate.
85.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Very nice.
I think
Is that a slant pickup, or is that a slant?
It is slanted. Yeah, it's slanted.
You know what? I'm gonna say one thing to you, Pete, and I'm only gonna say this just because it popped into my head, and I would not change this unless you want to, because that guitar looks phenomenal the way it is. That would make an amazing 5150 backup replica.
That's an interesting idea.
The Kramer Beretta body, you could make one of Eddie's backup guitars, which is essentially a 5150 type stripe job. And a lot of his had the pointy headstocks, which, not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But being that that's a Beretta body with a slanted pickup, that would be an ideal candidate for a backup 5150.
It almost actually kind of looks like one because those white lines are bigger.
Yeah, they're too big. Yeah, they're bigger. Yeah.
So it actually almost
does
looks like a backup Beretta already.
Yeah.
If it didn't say 5150 on it.
You could pull the space tape off, and that would be almost an identical 5150 backup replica.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I may just have to do that. It's awesome. Yeah, no, actually, whoever had this today, he actually put the 2 stars on it. Maybe he just, I don't know what he was trying to do with this, but no, I haven't touched this guitar, and I got it just like this about 12, 13 years ago.
Nice.
Wow.
I snagged it off eBay, and
it looks great.
The EVH Bumblebee. I like this guitar. I don't play it as much as I probably should, but
that's a great guitar. Yeah.
I just love all the necks. I just love all the natural. I can't play anything anymore with any kind of lacquer. It doesn't feel right in my hand. It's, especially the Wolves. I'm addicted to these guitars. They're just fun to play, and they sound great.
Yeah, they do.
Very cool. It's very cool stuff.
Do you have any Music Mans? Do you have any Music Man guitars?
No, that's definitely one I do not have in my arsenal. I never picked one up. The first time I bought, an EVH guitar was the PV.
Yeah.
And You know, I still love the guitar. It's just wild because the next Wolf I bought after that was that Amber, and I never heard a guitar just, you know, just every note, you know,
That Amber was sick.
yeah,
Oh,
every strike of the string, it's just, it was too alive.
It's so sick it needs antibiotic.
yeah. Yeah, literally.
It almost made the Peavey sound dead. It actually freaked me
Well,
out.
I mean, it's just because the Peavey pickups are a little bit less hot, and as you go backward in time, the Music Man pickups are even less hot than that. So, you know, yeah, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually funny. I ordered the white one March 29th, and it came. I bought it through the Sweetwater folks. I buy a lot of stuff. I got a nice rep there, and they that's a nice organization. They really take care of me. You know, they price things right, and it's just so funny through social media. You know, I've been waiting for the guitar, and then it was supposed to come in early June, then it got pushed, and you know, it was going to be a late June, early July. And you know, there's a guy on the main Eddie Van Halen, you know, that forum that has 25,000 members now.
Yep.
And I see this dude that I'm actually friends with that I met through with. I don't know if he's ever been on here. You guys see Mike Cheever? He posts a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
I see him holding the white guitar, and I'm like, I know he works at Sweetwater. I hijack his picture, and I email it to my rep. I'm like, dude, is that my guitar? And my phone rang immediately. He's like, yeah, he's holding your guitar. It just happened to be that it was mine. It was pretty funny that I got to see it first through someone in the warehouse actually taking it out, you know, their inspection. It was pretty funny. You know, it's wild. Where'd you get yours, Rob? Where'd you get your guitar from? What was the turnaround time on it?
My USA?
Yeah.
Actually, my USA I got off of, believe it or not, Reverb. It was funny. I still think Nesdall must be sitting here saying to himself, holy crap, dude, you didn't even give me a chance to get you a price on the thing. So, about...
and they still have it. They still have it there at the zoo, but that's fine. You know, everyone, you know, it's fine as long as you have one. Who cares?
Yeah, well, the funny thing was, I picked up the Peavey, my purple Peavey Wolfgang. I've had a million Peavey Wolfgang standards and specials and everything. Here's my purple one. It's purple arch top.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's got an incredible flame on it. And again, the bird's eye on mine is very similar to yours. It's just sick, absolutely sick.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's just incredible. And so I picked this up recently because I at the time didn't have a Peavey. And I really wasn't thinking about another EVH guitar. And then just one day I was just like, you know what? I really want to get the 2016 Ivory, you know, tour guitar that Eddie just played. Not thinking about the Relic one, obviously.
Right.
And my only objective was I want to put a kill switch in it. That was it. Just put a kill switch in, like I had in my other one over there. So I called Dave at about noontime that day, and I was just like, I was at work, and I just kept on working out for lunch, and I called Dave, I'm like, hey, can you get me a price on an EVH Ivory USA? And he's like, yep. He's like, give me some time, and I'll get a price back to you. So an hour goes by, and I didn't hear back from Dave. You know, it's the middle of the day. He's got stuff going on. He's running errands, doing whatever. And I know he had already contacted Zoo, and he was probably just waiting to hear back from him. And I went back to my office, and I was checking my emails, whatever, and I got on, for some reason or other, I got on eBay and typed in, you know, EVH USA Ivory Wolfgang.
Right.
And the guitar came up, and the guy wanted, I think the guy was looking for $2,700 for it. And I said, ooh, that's a little bit cheaper than normal, and whatever. So the guitar was literally only like a month and a half old, and he just didn't play it or whatever, and just, you know, kind of one of those, I don't know, one of the, you know, kind of panic buys or whatever you want to call it, or impulse buys.
Impulse.
Yep. And he said, check Reverb for a cheaper price. So I got on Reverb, and the guy wanted $2,600 for it. And now I'm going, wow. I said, this is incredible. So I sent him a message, and I said, listen, I said, and I threw out a price, and you know, basically it was $100 less. And I said, if you do it for $2,500, you got yourself a deal. And I didn't really think the guy would do it, and he did. And I got an email back, and he's like, boom, here we go, it's yours. And I'm like, so I scored the guitar for literally $2,500 bucks. And so I don't know where it came from originally, but it came from this guy, and it was, like I said, it was only a couple months old, so it was essentially a brand new guitar. And I don't know if you heard the last hangout, but it wasn't going to get a relic job until my cat knocked over my Shark Destroyer guitar, and it fell down and put a dent on the top right here of the guitar.
Yeah.
I was so ticked off, you know, and it wasn't even a big dent. It didn't damage the wood, it just damaged the finish. And I just bugged me, you know, and I was like, the guitar wasn't even a week old, and I'm like, you know what, it's getting a relic job. So I called my buddy Chris, and I said, hey, I need you to help me out here. And he goes, send it my way. So I sent it his way, and, you know, sent him a couple little odds and ends in the package too, and I'm really, really excited to get it back, because, you know,
He likes you better. He likes you better than he likes me, because he said no to me. No.
But, you know,
Dude, I'm just kidding. But he did say no to me. He did say no.
Yeah, but if you pried a little bit, Dave, he would have come through. If you pushed him, I pushed him.
I know.
I pushed him a little.
But you know, I don't like pushing people, especially when they're not comfortable doing something.
I didn't push him hard enough to where he was uncomfortable. I just basically said, do this or else. No, I'm kidding. No, I didn't do that. Chris is an awesome guy.
It's funny because I've been friends with Chris for a while.
Yeah.
And I don't even think, you know, when he finally accepted to do your relic, it's a strange feeling that someone's willing to hand him, you know, that kind of value just to wreck it. You know, like to wrap his mind around it.
Yeah, I can't tell you over the years how many guitars I've relicked for other people, Kramers and stuff. Now, it's a little different when you're relicking a Kramer, you know, because you really can't mess them up. But, you know, I told Chris, I said, I want you to have fun with it. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Don't worry.
No, this is how the conversation went. Hey, Chris, you know I'm a firearms instructor, don't you? Yeah. Well, you're going to relic my guitar, right?
Yeah, and I also do martial arts and all this other stuff. Yeah. No, the thing was,
I'm a firearms instructor, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I got the Music Man, I got the PV, I got the EVH, you know, and they're all perfect condition, you know. So having this guitar be the one and only signature relic guitar, for me, was a no-brainer. I said, let's just do it. Let's have fun with it. And I am so excited.
Well, here's the other thing. Now you got to go get the Anvil case. And luckily I have photos of the case inside and out, so you can have one made.
Chris, can you help me out with a case, buddy? Yeah. I'm gonna send you a case.
I'm a firearms instructor, huh?
Yeah. No, but that's about what it is. So mine, I don't know where mine came from, Pete. It was, but it's relatively brand new.
No, that's awesome. I mean,
I will show you guys a picture since everybody's been asking, because I think you guys do want to see it. This is the latest and greatest picture I have of the guitar, and I'm sure it's going to come out good. And it's a picture of the body. Those of you guys that are on Instagram, and it's essentially all done.
Oh wait, did you put it on Facebook or did Chris?
No,
yeah,
Chris did.
Put it up. I saw it.
Okay, so here's Chris's guitar. Here's Chris's, all right, and here's mine. Here's the body, and as you can see, it's just absolutely. And I don't know if you guys can tell. You probably can't see the checking, but you guys get the idea. It just looks.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I looked at it on my computer yesterday, and you know, on the computer, it actually you could see the detail real well.
I will show you one other picture. It's
Very
got
cool,
the.
man.
of the checking.
Rob, did he do the kill switch for you too, or did you have? Was that
No,
already?
yeah, he did the kill switch. Here's a picture of the back before he painted it black. You can tell the paint's stripped off, and it's going to be black. You know, like Dave and I are always saying, Chris does these things backwards, literally. He literally takes a white guitar and does it backwards, so there's more work involved. But if you can see, okay, here's a good picture before he actually did put the black in there. You can tell, you can see the checking.
Yeah. Well, he has no choice to do it because he doesn't have the base coat. He doesn't have the black base coat.
But he just did a phenomenal job. He really did. I mean, Chris is amazing.
What does he say? He used black automotive paint or something like that on him, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking he uses universal black, duplicolor universal black is what he's using, which is the same black that everyone uses on their Van Halen striped guitars. It's basically it's a lacquer paint, and it's what everyone uses.
Right.
Duplicolor is the name of the company, and it's universal black.
Yep. I had a question.
It's in a spray rattle can, so it's pretty easy. It's self-contained.
It's kind of funny. I had a question for Chris the other day. I asked him. I said, "Hey, listen," I said, "I've done 1,000,001, relic guitars, and I've been around this stuff for 20 years doing this stuff, but I've never done one to an original, signature guitar." So I had no clue what it was like when you strip off this finish off these guitars. I didn't have any clue how thick the stuff was. I didn't have any clue, if it came off like a paste, if it came off in chips. So my first question was to Chris, obviously, when I get this thing back, should I do anything to it to ensure that no more of the cream paint comes off? So, because I don't want a big chunk of the cream stuff to come off after it's all, I want it to stay kind of original to Ed's. And Chris said to me, he goes, "Don't worry, dude." He goes, pulling this stuff off is like, pulling up pavement. It does not come up easy. You really have to work at it. So he said, you don't have to worry about doing anything. When you get it back, the white cream paint or finish that's on there, it's not going anywhere unless you literally, peel it up with a putty knife,
Yeah, but you still got to be cognizant of, listen, I being a guitar collector, I'm sure you keep your guitars in a good, drier environment, and
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, I mean, that's what would hurt you over time.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and again, all these guitars I have here, the same thing. I mean, a lot of the Kramers and the straight guitars, they are all relic, like Dave's and Johnny's. Johnny's got the same.
Well, what you also have to realize is that if Eddie continues to use that guitar, it is going to get more beat up. It's not going to stay as is. Because we all know how he is. He uses one guitar until it dies.
That's actually a good question, Dave. That's actually a good question. Do we know if he's still using that guitar in the studio? Do we have any idea what he's using in the studio?
I mean, I'm going to give you the Johnny Bean answer. He uses everything in the studio. It doesn't, he uses everything.
I'll give you another Johnny Bean answer. I'll give you a David Nesdall answer. Yeah, he's probably using that. He's probably he uses so many different guitars. But I would say if they go out live again, and if he plays that guitar again, I'm sure he'll have a backup relic as well of the same thing.
Yeah.
So he'll probably have two of those.
Yeah. But I'm willing to bet that there'll be another guitar. There'll be something new that he'll be road testing if there is another tour.
You don't think he ever goes back to main stage striped axe?
Well, here's where I'm going to go.
You never know. You never know with that. You just never know what's going to happen.
Pete, here's where I'm going to go with that comment. Just based off of information that I've seen online and some other things, and the resurrection of some certain beasts that have come up, I'm going to go and say this, that if they go out live again, you're going to see the Steinberger Transtrem come up again. You're going to see this exact same guitar come out,
Nice.
you're going to see them play Summer Nights again. Because Jeff Babbitt's just took possession of Eddie's guitar a very few short months ago and reworked the whole thing. The original 85 Newberg Steinberger GL2T Transstrum, just like this one. This is what mine is. And I got a feeling you're going to see this guitar come back out again and go on the road.
And I'll go further. I got a feeling you're going to see a few different earlier guitars go on the road as well.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I mean, I don't even know the answer to this question, but, you know, I don't think he's obligated by Fender to play Fender live, is he? I mean, is he?
Well, it's his company. He only shoots himself in the foot if he doesn't play his guitars because it's his company.
Right.
Good point.
Yeah,
So
he's not playing for PV or Music Man anymore, where he can pretty much do whatever he wants now.
Yeah, and not for nothing, he always had that choice. He wasn't obligated to any one company.
Right.
You know, there are different types of endorsements. There's a what's it called?
Motown deal? No.
No, where you're only allowed to play one specific guitar or one specific company, where you can't play anything else other than that live. I mean, in the studio, they can't tell you what you can play in the studio, but when you're seen in public, there's a contract that you can only play this.
Right.
And companies also have contracts where you can, you're allowed to play other things as long as you have one of these with you, or you play, or you're seen taking a photo with this as well.
Right.
Larry Mitchell is a candidate for that type of endorsement because he's got a full endorsement with Ibanez and with Nag's guitars, and I believe Godin as well. So he's able to use whatever he wants as long as one of each of those guitars goes on the road with him and you can see him playing one. But he doesn't have to stick to those guitars. He can play whatever he wants.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you think Fender is definitely going to launch a Wolfie line? You think they're going to start selling some of the stuff he's been playing, or no?
What are you talking about?
Wolfgang.
They are Fenders.
No, I know they are, but
EVH is Fender.
No, you're missing my point. But they ever come out with a bass like Wolfgang Van Halen's bass?
Oh, who knows? I imagine that they probably will, but you never know.
I'd love to see that because
it just seems like a no-brainer. But what I do think is that the smart thing to do is and what it seems like the trend is with that company is that they do a little bit at a time so that there's always something new each year.
Right.
And they don't flood the market with everything. And chances are it's either going to be a limited edition piece or they're going to make it to order. And I also believe, and this is not a fact, and it's speculation, but I also believe that in the future you'll see a custom shop like you saw with Peavey, where you can build basically whatever you want.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot more money. It'll probably be like $5,000 or more, but you can order whatever you want on any guitar, whatever color you want, whatever top you want, whatever.
Yeah, that was nice.
I have a feeling that that's going to come because it's almost there now. Since they're making the USA guitars to order now, it only makes sense that the next choice is to just do a custom shop and let people order what they want.
Yeah. Yeah, we're almost there. You're right. Well, I mean, basically, this guitar here, this guitar it's professional, but it's kind of a custom shop, Mexican archtop body, kill switch, chrome hardware, Chinese neck, ebony neck with stainless frets with, chrome hardware and pearl heads. I mean, it's almost a custom shop, guitar.
Yeah, it looks like a custom shop Peavey is what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks very cool.
And like I said the other night, I mean, the brightness of this guitar. I mean, it's just amazing the way the thing rings out.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice guitar.
I love how it plays. It's literally one of my most favorite playing guitars now. I mean, I love it.
Nice.
Johnny, we have any more questions? Anything else? Anything else on the docket?
Yeah, there's billions of them. We haven't gotten to any of them.
Come on, let's
Billions.
go quickly.
Alan Garber.
Poor
Hey,
Al.
Alan says, so let's try to knock these out really quickly, okay? Like,
Yep.
anybody who knows an answer to this, just say the answer. Oh, David Allen Wright just popped up.
Happy birthday, David.
Hey, David Allen Wright, happy birthday, man. So Alan Garber, does David Nesdall or anyone know exactly when the first Black Floyd Rose was made? I know my Ripley is
Original, you
is
mean?
late
Original?
84. Yeah.
Yeah, 84. Not
My
even late
Ripley
84.
is
I would
late
say eight. I would say even 83 because the Holy Grail guitars are 83 and they had Black Floyds on them.
Yeah, that's
This
true.
question is going all over the links right now, and it's in regards to Eddie's original black and yellow Charvel.
Oh, yeah.
This is all over the links, and there's
I
some
saw that.
speculation if Eddie's original bridge was black and it just rusted, or if it was chrome and it rusted. And I still believe it was chrome and rusted, not black. But I don't have.
Yeah, it was chrome.
Yeah.
It was chrome, and I'll go one further. It wasn't dipped in chrome. It was the tooling marks. It was I would say that it was nickel, probably.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dave.
Well, you guys saw that? Well, I think Rob's the only guy. Somebody posted a photo of Randy Rhoads with one, and it looked black
Right.
on his polka dot. David Allen Wright says that he has a prototype Black Floyd Rose.
I saw it.
Okay. So, yes. All right. So yeah.
And if you give me till tomorrow, I can actually answer that question right away because I'll call Floyd Rose tomorrow, first thing, and find out.
Okay.
I'd like to know that exact answer too. I agree with Dave, but I'd love an exact date.
Okay. Yeah, let's try to knock out some of these questions and comments. And also, real quick, anybody watching this right now, if you dig this stuff, you dig watching this stuff, please subscribe. You'll be alerted every time we do these things. We've been doing them Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, about 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. And even though we talk about the same stuff all the time, it's always different. It's never the same. It always ends up being a totally different conversation. So subscribe to the channel if you dig it, and give this video a thumbs up as well, because that will help other people find these videos and this content, and everybody will be happy.
Well, not everybody.
Okay, not everybody will, but some people will.
Most people.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick, I'll read some of the stuff. J.H. Harrington said, I'm really impressed with the stainless frets and ebony fretboard. I play the heck out of mine, and there is no signs of wear. Awesome. Yeah, the stainless steel frets are great. Great necks. 802 Blues says, did you guys all meet and become friends through this stuff? Through EVH stuff?
Yep.
I think it is so cool. I live in a small town in Vermont.
Nice. What part?
Closest music store is 40 miles away.
Huh.
But I am getting ready to try to make a 1982 Kramer, and was wondering if I had any questions, if I could ask you guys through the comments. Yes, of course.
What part of Vermont do you live in, bro? Because I literally live 2 miles from Vermont border.
Vermont.
Thanks again for doing these conversations. You're welcome, man. And yes, any questions, comments, leave them in the comments, for sure. Jaden James 104 says, I'll say my goodbyes. Kids want to go swimming. I'll watch the rest later. Keep on rocking. Look forward to next time. You're welcome, man. Same thing. Brian Davies. Brian Davies. What's the main difference between a Sterling Music Man and an OLP? So real quick. Anybody?
Yeah, I'm.
Nesdall.
I've never played either. I can't give you an answer. I don't know.
The Sterling.
The Sterling is more like the sport kind of thing, kind of model. With like the switch is more like a 5-way, right? It's more like with the Axis Sport was kind of like rather as the Eddie version. You know. Let's see.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, they're very similar. I will say they are very, very similar.
Yes. Yeah. Luke J. What's up, guys? Love the show. Have been tuning in for the last few weeks as often as I can. Thank you very much, Luke J.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you, Luke.
Okay, that's the same. Diamond Dave Lucy. Yo!
Hey.
Diamond Dave, man. Diamond Dave Lucy. He was in our last... Was it the last hangout or the hangout before? Last week or whatever. He was in a hangout with Nesdall and I.
Yeah, it was the one before.
Been watching from the start tonight. Great talk. Looking forward to joining again. After I improved my audio setup, didn't realize it was so bad Monday night. So it was Monday he was on. Peter, I'm selling a red EVH Music Man. Wink.
Yeah, that's a beautiful looking guitar.
I hit my quota for 2016.
Yeah, and the audio wasn't bad, man. It really was. I was joking. I was kidding around. That's something you have to understand is I like to make funnies.
Make what?
I like to make comicals. Yeah, because he was wearing a cordless headset mic, and he like went downstairs to grab a guitar, but he still sounded like he was right there. So if you watch the video, he comes walking from way back, but it still sounds like he's right here. So that's why I was joking around like he was still there, like hey Johnny, I'm across the street now at 7-Eleven. Do you want anything? You know, it's like he wasn't even there, but he still sounded like he was.
Yeah.
It was funny. So you watch last Monday's hangout with Diamond. It's called New Guitar Dave Lucy is what it's called. Warmouth Strat Mully says wish I could be there. Off to class. Have a great evening, fellas. Dude, we've been talking about you. Jeremy King registered for the mailbox. Brent Z Rocks. The older I have got, that I am into the tone more than the looks. He's more into tone. Yeah. Same with me.
That's probably why he said that, Johnny, because you said you'd use whatever color on whatever color under whatever color.
Mm-hmm.
On whatever color.
Oh, and that guy, what was it? 8 Blues just said thanks for answering his question. You're welcome, man. Faraz, dude. Hey guys, how's it going? Did you guys check that Stu Mac link I sent you in the comments section of the previous video?
I haven't seen it.
We'll have to look. Okay. I saw that one. Okay. Mike Krause says, bromance. Great show. He says, great show. Bromance.
Maybe he's talking about you. Whatever. Hey, thanks for enjoying it.
This guy, this guy commented earlier. He says, don't relic the headstock. Do not relic the headstock. He says, wanted to try to turn the tides some. He says.
Cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't make sense to have a relic body and a non-relic headstock.
His camera's off. I think he's doing it right now.
No, I'm actually eating, so I didn't want to appear rude.
Oh, I appear rude all the time.
Dave's camera's always on.
Yeah. You're lucky if I'm wearing pants.
J.H. Harrington, I really like the videos you do on the Eddie noises. They help so much. You do rock this chat. The chat rocks. Thank you, man. Thank you for watching all that stuff. The guitar lesson videos, these things. Let's see. Richard Schick. Hang on, Richard. Hang on. Yeah, there's like a million. Okay, that was the musician's friend. We were talking earlier about musician's friend wrecking a guitar.
Yep.
They said musician's friend did make it right. I have several options for my return. He says black, red, and white stripe series EVH or circles EVH, or wait for the new stripe models for the year.
Good. I'm glad.
I would do circles. I did circles.
I would wait for the new Wolfgang to come out. This way we can all laugh at Pete for having the old one.
Robert. Robert Nordvik. Good stuff, guys. Subscribed. Thank you, man. Have my 4th EVH guitar on order right now. Another 2011 Wolfgang. Is it special or standard? WGS. It's probably special. He has a stripe series. He sold his PV Wolfgang when he bought his 2011 Wolfgang. Wishes he still had it. Keep up the good stuff. Thank you. Why does my comment not found? Are you guys erasing comments? I go to click on a comment to read it and it says not found. So if some of these, if I don't answer them, it looks like they're either deleted or they're not showing up on my phone at least. Bry the Sign Guy says hello.
Hey, Bry.
What's up, Bry?
Have you guys made a striped replica Music Man or PV Wolfgang?
I did.
What's that?
Have you made a striped Music Man or PV?
I've made them in the past, and I don't have any anymore. But I'm looking for a PV Wolfgang special in any color in order to do a new one.
Mm-hmm.
I made a PV special.
So if anyone wants to sell one for not a lot of money, let me know. I'd be happy to be your buyer.
And here is a picture of the one that I did years ago. It's a PV special.
Yeah, looks just like Ed's.
Wow.
Yep. Here's the. Yeah, really, really nice. I miss this guitar. Like the one that he played. Here's the back.
Yeah, that looks like it exactly.
Yep. I
That's
no
what
longer
mine looked like.
Yeah, I wish I still had it.
Stephen Paul says, hey guys. Hey Stephen.
Hey Stephen.
What's going on?
Richard Schick. Okay, Richard. Have any of you guys attempted to make or have made the Sea Dragon versus Snakes Explorer body guitar? I think Eddie officially called that just a dragon biting a snake, is what he said in an interview. Years and years.
Me personally, ago. I'm not even remotely interested in making one of those. Not even.
He says he's always loved the guitar and wondered why Ed only used it for a few shows on the '79 tour.
It sounded like crap.
It probably didn't sound quite,
And it probably didn't stay in tune. It didn't stay in tune, I don't believe, because
there was no Floyd.
Well, not only no Floyd, but there's really no edges in the neck pocket for the neck to stay solid.
Right.
There's no sides.
That's one of those guitars that, never been one of my favorites. If somebody gave me one, I'd take it, but I really would not. I can't see. I don't know. Just never been one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Well, I like it.
Same here.
I can barely paint a guitar, anything, a solid color. So there's no way I would ever be able to make one, but I do dig it. Diamond Dave Lucy, he's responding back to the Sterling Music Man versus OLP comment, I think. He says, I can answer that. The Sterling Music Mans are produced by Music Man instead of being contracted out to an overseas company. The Sterlings use better quality woods and hardware. He says he owns an OLP double neck, and he's selling his AX40. Both are great guitars, but the Sterling AX40 definitely has better wood, hardware, workmanship, etc. And you feel the value over the OLP. I agree. I agree with that. Super Junior, David Allen, dude, says this is the best reality show, period. Thank you, man.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you
so much.
Yeah, and come back soon.
Come back soon.
David Allen Wright is one of the original guests on these things, and
Brandy. Hey, Brandy.
and yeah, you should come back when you can, dude. Oh, Richard Schick is saying great show. Just saying what's up. Cool. Okay. Faraz sent that link again. It's in the comments. And then Diamond Dave Lucy says, I have a striped homemade Music Man EVH. I didn't share it last time I was on. I'll share it next time. I did it last year for a show. It's not the double-sided pound cake striped EVH, but the truck Photoshop version. Cool. Is that the same as the runaround?
The truck,
runaround version?
The truck Photoshop is the runaround guitar.
Yeah.
Or photo shoot. Yeah, photo shoot. Yeah, the truck magazine, yeah.
And it was also in Pound Cake. It was also in the Pound Cake when he was using the drill.
That's a
different one.
Pound Cake is a different guitar. It's got stripes around the whole body.
Oh, yep, okay, yep.
And the Floyd Rose tremolo arm has an Atlas world on the end of it.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that, but I definitely, you're right. On the perimeter of the guitar, now I do know what you're talking about. Yep. Good call.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Cool. Are you guys good?
Oh yeah.
Are you guys cool? 'Cause I know it's getting later.
No, keep drinking. I'm good.
Like Peter, I don't know if you're.
I'm fading.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You're probably not used to sitting on here with these crazy guys.
I'm just having a little bit of food here, so I'm wide awake again, so I'm good. Very rarely do I stay up this late, but I'm good.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to jump at some point soon, so
might as well jump.
Yeah. Although not right now. I'm fine right now. Peter, if you want to bail, you can bail. It's fine.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna drop out, guys. This was a fun night, though. Thanks for inviting me in.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, man,
Pete.
and showing us your guitars, man.
Thanks, Peter.
Awesome job, Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I get the other one in, I'll let Dave know, and I'll come back on, and let's see what that thing looks like.
Listen, you're more than welcome to join us at any time, even before that. You just got to let us know you want to come on, so that we know. That's all.
Awesome. I really appreciate that.
Hey Dave, can you get me on? Or now that you're friends with Johnny, he's the one who does this, who does all the inviting. So you can call him. You can contact him and say, "Can I get on?"
Yeah.
Cool. Mm-hmm. I will do that. I appreciate it, guys. Listen, have a wonderful night, and thanks again, Rob. Nice finally meeting you, man.
Hey, you too, sir. Thanks, Pete. Have a good night.
Same
awesome guitars you got there, my friend.
Thanks, man. I love playing them.
See you later, pal.
Later, guys.
All right. Good night, Peter.
Good.
Night, Pete.
Yeah, thanks, Johnny.
You're welcome. Cool. Did I read this already? From Jim. Is it Nicholas?
Nichols?
Quarters. Jim Quarters.
Is it Nicholson? Nicholson? Nichols?
It's Nicholas.
It's Nicholas.
It's Nicholas.
He says it exactly the same every time. Is it Nichols?
Nick who?
Nicholas? It's Nicholas.
Rodden? Is it Jim Rodden? Hey guys, did I read
Jim
this already?
Rodden?
I don't remember if I read this already.
No.
Hey guys, the Blue Wolfgang is
didn't-
sick. Did you guys not recommend
Pete's Blue
ordering a
Wolfgang.
guitar from Musician's Friend? Did you not recommend? Do you guys not recommending ordering guitars from Musician's Friend? I've ordered pedals with no problem, but unsure about guitars. I wouldn't have a problem ordering from them. I think it's just the stuff gets busted up. I don't.
I never had a.
You know, I have mixed feelings. I totally believe in buying the guitar that you've played.
Yeah.
So I'd
Yeah.
much rather go into a store and play the thing first. I don't need one in a box. I don't need the new in the box. I'd like to play the one that I'm going to buy. So
Yeah.
if it's on the wall and it's a cool guitar, I'm taking that one. I'd rather you hang the one in the box up on the wall for other people to play first, and then, oh, okay, it's got some life in it. Let's do that. You know,
Ooh.
that's the way I think.
Yeah, unless you're making something from parts, you know. If you make something from parts, you can
Right.
make it the way you want it. You kind of know what it's going to be like. If it's a whole guitar, yeah, myself, I'm not too worried about, you know, I can make anything sound and play great.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm
Yeah,
not worried.
as
I'm not
long as
worried
it-
at all.
As long as it's a reputable company, like you know, EVH, no matter what price point you're buying, the guitar itself is going to be great. You just need to set it up the way you like it. It may not come set up the way you like it, but that's just a setup. So you know, you're going to have a good guitar, no matter what part of the world you get it from.
Mhm.
Just set it up the way you like it. So you know, just order it. You don't have to go to the store and get it.
I agree with that.
Very rarely do I get a new guitar and not have to do something to it for a setup.
That's right. You know, you buy an Armani suit, right? Say you're getting a $1,000 Armani suit. You're not going to buy one that's off the rack. You're going to have it fitted to you.
That's right. That's right.
Hmm.
I mean, and some of the adjustments can be as minor as adjusting the trem springs in the back of the cavity, just to make the action just a tad different, you know, or string or something similar like that. They don't necessarily have to be major mods. Just, you know, little tiny setup tweaks can make a world of difference with how your guitar plays and what you think of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And just remember this: the Candyman can. I don't know. I got nothing.
Well, that was creepy.
Quiet down there, cousin it, you know. I love
You
you.
can make your sunshine. No, I don't know.
Dave, do I have to sing Mr. Sandman to you again?
No, I hear it enough here.
Hey, Rob. Hey, Rob, you can even eat the dishes
Yeah.
since you're eating.
I'm having Nutella on granola bars right now. That's why I'm not public, because it's kind of messy.
You know, you can put Nutella on a car bumper and it'll taste good.
I know it, right? That's insane.
Alan Garber says, please find out the answer, David, if you can.
Didn't
about
I
the
say
Floyd Rose.
okay? I texted him back. Alan, come on.
Okay.
Give me a minute. It's not tomorrow yet.
Okay.
Hey, Dave, just for that, I wouldn't find the answer. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking, Alan.
Well, I mean, if you were to read the you know, his statement to me, it was like 5 pages long.
I'm kidding.
Just to ask me to call Floyd Rose in the morning. Hey, can you call Floyd Rose in the morning? No, it has to be like 3,000 paragraphs.
No, but the one thing I will say, though, in Alan's defense on this topic is Alan has been a huge promoter of Jimmy and the original mindset of what that original thread was about. Unfortunately, Jade, you probably haven't read it on VH Links, but I was responding to it, and then the thread started getting a little bit out of hand, and people started getting rude, and Alan kind of, unfortunately, took kind of a beating on that thread.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I know a little bit about it. That's why it was a couple paragraphs, because Alan was telling me what it was about.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to mention any names,
Right.
On this, but you know,
I feel
I
bad.
know for a fact. I know for a fact that bridge was not black. It wasn't even chrome. It was like a nickel or it was a silver-esque bridge. That just got beat up. That's all it is.
Yeah, I think in Alan's defense, I think he wants to kind of put this to bed because I was responding to it, and once people started getting rude, I literally have.
Well,
once people
here's
get
the deal. Here's the deal. Even if I'm going to call Floyd tomorrow, but I'm sure they're not going to have the answer to that particular question because Floyd Rose is not. It's not Floyd Rose anymore. It's Andy Papiccio, who was he was the vice president of Kramer when Kramer was around in the 80s. He's now the CEO of Floyd Rose, and I don't think he knows or cares about that question. So the original, like Floyd Rose himself, I'm not going to be able to get in touch with him, and he or Eddie Van Halen would be the only two people, or Wayne Charvel would be the only three people that would really know.
I can get in touch with him himself.
So
the only thing I'm going to say on this topic, though, is once people start getting rude to each other on these forums and stuff like that, I fall off. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, Dave, be quiet.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say this is not supposed to be rude. These guys that get all mad at each other and start fighting on the forums and stuff. It's like, guys, this is a hobby for us. This is something we enjoy. It doesn't have to turn rude, and that's why I just stopped responding. And Alan, like Dave knows, Alan was trying to put out accurate information, and he started getting beat up. So, and again, I don't disagree with what folks were saying on there. I just chose not to respond because this is supposed to be fun and not supposed to be who really freaking cares? We all have lives. It doesn't matter, really.
Right. It doesn't matter is correct. It doesn't matter.
None of this matters.
The truth is everyone who's involved cares, or else they wouldn't be opening their mouths. But it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's only rock and roll. Where was this on the links itself? All this stuff going on, or on Facebook?
The links. It's on the Van Halen Charvel Bumblebee appreciation to that.
Because for people to busting other people up on the links sounds very weird to me. Because it's a very, very tight community for the most part. The people that are on there, everybody knows everybody. Mostly, for the most part.
It wasn't brutal, but it started getting a little bit rude, and that's when I kind of stopped paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares if it was black or chrome or nickel? The thing was rusted. It obviously was rusted.
Exactly. Yeah, it was rusted, and since it was a prototype. Go ahead, Johnny.
Where's that photo? You guys know the photo of him like backstage outside, holding the Charvel? He's outside. He's wearing like a jumpsuit. He's got the pack of cigarettes.
Yeah, it's on the left page.
You can see the Floyd right there.
Yeah,
right.
It's already on the page.
It's on there. I've had that photo since I was a kid.
Yeah, I have it too, but it's on the page.
And is that the photo? Is that the photo where it has the double white pickup in it as well?
No, it's a zebra pickup.
At that point, it's a zebra?
Yep.
Let me see if I can find the photo real quickly. I had it torn out of like a magazine when I was a kid, like years and years and years ago.
Images of Eddie Van Halen's black and yellow Charvel guitar.
You need to unlock your iPhone first.
Oh, Siri's being so rude, man. That was uncalled for.
Eddie Van Halen's black and yellow Charvel guitar I found on the web.
Well, here, check this out.
Charvel.
This is actually the original. This is the original bridge that was on that guitar. This is the original Floyd Rose that was on that guitar with a double white pickup in it. And it wasn't changed until he put one with fine tuners on it. That's the original bridge. Anyone looking? Is anyone looking?
No. Yeah. I'm trying to find that photo I was talking about, but
Oh, but this is the same bridge just before it rusted. This is the same bridge. And Alan, if you're still here looking at this, this is the bridge. Contact me. Let me know you're seeing this. But that's the bridge that was on it. I owned the same exact bridge. It's in the kitchen. It's the same exact one. It's a 1979. It doesn't even say Floyd Rose on it. But it's a Floyd Rose non-fine tuning bridge. That's the original one that rusted.
Yep, that is the one.
Okay, here's the photo. But it's horrible quality. Oh. I mean, there's that's the photo I was talking about right there, but the quality is bad.
Hang on.
I can't zoom in because the quality sucks. But that's the photo I was talking about.
Yeah, Alan, I saw your text. Yeah, thank you for watching and thanks for responding. So, show that picture. Just Google that picture. Google and look for that picture, and that is the only Floyd Rose other than one that had fine tuners on it.
And if you go to VH Links, get on the Charvel Appreciation links, or the thread, Charvel Appreciation thread, in the guitar section. And Jimmy has posted every possible picture of the era of that guitar that you can possibly imagine. And it will show you the rusted Floyd Rose.
Yeah, Jimmy did a great job over there, posting the history of all these guitars, like from the beginning until, later on. So I'm going to read some things real quick. Mike Krause, any idea what's going on with Wolfgang's solo record? It's being recorded. The guy that he's working with, who's the guy who's producing, is the Tremonti. Is that how you say it? Tremonti?
Yeah.
Producer. That's the guy who's doing it. It's being done, or was being done, at 5150. Anyone get the Snow White Wolfgang standard? Kyle Norton asks. No, I would like one. I think they're cool.
A buddy of mine got one from the Music Zoo when he was visiting me.
There's a video.
It's a great guitar. Absolutely great.
We did an unboxing, right?
Yep,
yeah,
we did.
Go back a month on my channel here. Search, I don't know, Wolfgang, whatever. Go back a month, and you'll see an unboxing video with the guy with the white guitar.
That's right. Wolfgang unboxing. Wolfgang guitar unboxing.
Yep.
Ziata, Z-I-A-T-A, Ziata. I think Ziata Guitars. Hey guys, good day from down under. Enjoying listening to your live chat while working. Just recently discovered these chats and have been watching the JB channel lately. Just subscribed. Keep it up, George Luthier. Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, George.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, man.
Absolutely.
We enjoy talking about these things. And okay, yeah, the guy who said he lives in Vermont, he says northern Vermont.
Okay.
Saint Albans. St. Albans.
St. Albans, yeah. St. Albans, actually, yeah. Yep, I know exactly where that is. That's about 3.5 hours, well, 3 hours away from me, approximately.
Is Mark Tremonti doing the guitar parts on Wolfgang's record? Do you know if he plays with Mark? I don't think so. I think Wolfgang's playing everything. I think Wolfgang plays every instrument.
Yeah, because, I mean, Wolfie's a drummer, he's a guitarist, he's a bassist, I mean, vocals. I think he even plays piano.
Yeah, he plays everything.
Yeah.
SYNNER, I forget what your name really was. He wants to purchase a Floyd Rose. Huh? He wants to purchase a Floyd Rose original. Thoughts on where to purchase, and is it Is there something I can do to be on the lookout for, like Floyd Pro model?
Just call Floyd Rose. They're in Wall Township, New Jersey. Call them up directly. Let them know you want one, and you want an original Floyd Rose in whatever color you want.
I think maybe he's saying he wants like an actual vintage one, possibly. If you want a vintage one, you just want to get one that says Floyd Rose, made in Germany. You don't want to get Floyd Rose 2. You do not want to get anything like that. You want it to be an original German Floyd from what, 80, 83, 84?
82 to 86.
Yeah.
And they won't say the word original on them, because I think there was a year or two in 87 or 88 where they said Floyd Rose and then original next to it. You don't want that.
Right.
But if you want a brand new one, they're amazing. You can call them directly and just give them your credit card number, and they'll send it out to you. They're very quick. There you go. Wall Township, W-A-L-L Township, New Jersey, and it's Floyd Rose. Just Floyd Rose.
I don't
have the phone number. I don't have the phone number, but you can look it up.
I still got to get one of those reissues, Dave, too.
They're great. They're great.
Yeah.
And Richard Schick says he agrees with Nesdall. The bridge on the Bumblebee looks like unfinished milled steel.
Yes, that's it. I couldn't think of the words to say. Nickel. Whatever. Unfinished milled steel. Exactly. Thank you, Richard.
J.H. Harrington. Thanks for inviting me to this conversation, Johnny. I have to go. You rock, man. Thank you, man.
In fact, I'm going to put an end to it right now. Hang on a second.
Mike Krause says, is Eddie charging Wolfgang studio time? No. He grew up in that studio. Manny. I remember hearing Billy Sheehan saying Eddie was after him for some time to join them. Lol. Yes. Yes, I think Eddie wanted Billy Sheehan and Van Halen as far back as like 1980.
Back to the Floyd Rose thing. Here's that bridge. This is it. This is exactly the bridge that's on that Bumblebee originally.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't have that little sticker on it that says Rose, it's not the original one. It doesn't say Floyd Rose on it right here. This is exactly the bridge. And this is steel.
Dave, you got any plans for that bridge ever?
Not at the moment, just to show it off on occasions like this, because it's worth a lot of money.
On the original Star that I built, before I got my EVH Star, I had that exact same bridge that I had on there. Because Eddie had one on his fine tuners too.
Yeah, but did yours say Floyd Rose on it? Because it could be anywhere up to 1982 if it said Floyd Rose on it.
I think
this is an actual 79. This is 1979. This particular.
No, I think you have the gem. I believe mine did say Floyd Rose. Yep. I think you got the collector's piece right there. And the condition of that one you have is incredible.
It's ridiculous how clean this bridge is.
Yeah. I mean, it looks brand new. I mean,
it's pretty new. I mean, the knife edges in here are still sharp. It's really in good shape.
That's incredible. It almost looks like it was never mounted on a guitar.
That could be. It could be, but I had it mounted on my Circles guitar for a day, and then I said, you know what? It's so hard to tune it.
Yeah.
So I took it off, and it's a conversation piece. So.
Yeah. You're miserable.
I mean, someone's got to offer me a lot of money for me to sell it, because it's worth having just because I have it already.
Yeah.
Stephen Paul says, anybody have a referral for anybody that knows how to do a fret job?
I do.
I do.
My guitar tech right in Amherst, Massachusetts, Sean Anise does them, but that's in my area, and I'm sure Dave has somebody right in his.
Yeah,
Okay,
his
wait a
name is Larry Fitzgerald. He worked for a lot of companies. He was taught by John Sir, and we all know Sir guitars. They're fantastic. So he does all the fret jobs on my guitars. He's here on Long Island, New York.
Larry Fitzgerald. He plays for the
Fitzgerald.
He plays for the Arizona Cardinals.
Same namesake, but different guy.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. Oh, here. I'll read you guys something off the air. I don't know if this is something I should say on here. I'll tell this to you guys though. We can't say everything on here. Okay, I think we should wrap it up if you guys, because yeah, although it hurts, we got 45 people sitting here looking at us.
I want to keep
45 people.
It hurts. Oh, 44, look out. But hey, 45 again. Out of you 45 people looking at us, if you dig this stuff, give the video a thumbs up. That helps other people find these videos and enjoy this content. And if you're new here, click subscribe, and you'll be alerted to brand new videos, brand new hangouts that we do. And we like talking about this stuff. Huh?
Click subscribe.
I already said that, Johnny. Johnny, shut up. Is that rude?
No, that's not rude. I'm just trying to look and see how many subscribers subscribe and hit thumbs up.
Ian, should I read this over the air, Ian? I don't know if this is, it's a message. I don't know if David can use this. Ian, if you want, send that message to Dave. Are you friends with Dave on Facebook? Dave can use. He says you can use that Floyd with a Bill Edwards nut. He says he just installed one and it works beautifully.
I don't know what a Bill Edwards nut is.
Maybe we better not find out either.
Okay, yeah, Howie really wants to go on his walk, but we can't go yet, man. Okay, last comment. Romeo Delight 90 says, any difference between the Floyd Rose brass blocks between the Floyd Rose company and the ones offered by FU Tone? Are they the same?
I believe that they both sell the same stuff. What's that?
We can't have that 18 music on here, man. We'll have to delete this video after 3 hours. He's watching A-Team.
No. That was my voicemail going off. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
No, my voicemail.
Answer to that question is, if it's not exactly the same, it's very, very similar. I know that Adam uses the L blocks, which is a slightly larger, a larger piece. It's what they call the L-shaped block. I know Floyd Rose offers the L-shaped block, but they also have the regular sizes, both in 32 millimeter, 37 millimeter, and 42 millimeter. The 37 millimeter is the one that you would use on any normal Fender guitar.
Right.
That size. Fender with a Floyd Rose on it. You would use a 42 for a thicker body, like say the Rude or the Rasta guitar, because it's it needs a slightly longer block because it's a thicker body.
Right.
But it's all the same stuff. No, it's brass. They're big fat blocks. You can get them either place. I get them from both places. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Both companies are great companies. I love both companies. Just choose the one you want.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. Who gave this video a thumbs down? That's not funny. Who would do that?
That's not cool.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
Rob and Dave, you know, you guys can thumbs up the things too, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Dave, I don't know.
That's
if Dave
like
can.
that's like thumb upping our own posts on Facebook.
That's like liking your
thumbs
Facebook.
up my own post.
Yeah, like liking your own Facebook post.
People do
I'm
that.
gonna do that.
People do like their own stuff.
Well, then you do it. You do it. You do it.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll thumbs up my own thing. Romeo Delight 90 says thank you. Now I'm getting Instagram comments. Okay, real quick. Yeah, anybody, if you're on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Johnny Bean. Rob Johnson, what's your Instagram handle?
Mine is, you guys can follow me too. I just got on Instagram. And I am Rob CJ 5150.
Very cool.
So follow me, guys.
Very cool. Nesdall, he's only on Facebook.
But I do have a YouTube channel, so subscribe to my YouTube, please.
Yeah, just search Nesdall, Nesdall, and you'll see a picture of Nesdall, and you can subscribe to
And that's
Nesdall.
not Nesdull. It's not Nesdull. It's Nesdall. Nesdall, not dull.
Nesdill?
Nesdill. You know, it's funny. People call me Nesdale. Nesdale.
Nesdale.
Nesdale.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. If you're on Facebook, you can like my Facebook page, which is Guitarist Johnny Bean. Basically, just search Johnny Bean, and you'll find two pages. You'll find my personal profile, and you'll find a like page that you can like, a brand page, and you can like it, and same thing. Be alerted to all these kinds of cool things. Brent Cohn says Nadsdale. Nadsdale.
Well, all right then.
Cool. All right, we're gonna split
Nads.
again. Huh?
Nadsdale, that's funny.
Okay. All right, keep rocking, everybody. Subscribe to the channel if you dig this stuff. We like talking about this stuff. It's stuff we like to talk about. Awesome. Thank you, man. Somebody else, they have to sign off, but they'll tune in next time. Thank you. Thumbs up the video if you dig it, because seriously, that really helps other people find these things and watch these videos. People that are not in the loop yet. So spread the love. Definitely. So okay, and yeah, don't hang up, you guys. I got a couple things to tell you guys.
Okay.
Johnny Bean, JohnnyBean.com. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for watching this. Rob Johnson. Thanks again for the neck.
Guys.
Thanks for the guitar neck, man. I'm looking forward to making a guitar out of that at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Can't wait to see it.
Good luck with that, Johnny.
Thank you. David Nesdale, thank you.
No. Thank you, Mr. Acavano.
Nesdale.
And yeah, if you guys want to watch the hangout Nesdall did with the Mully yesterday, I'll put a link down below. Or it's a podcast, actually. Go to mullysplace.com, MULLYS place.com, and you can listen to the podcast. And it was a good one. I watched the video version this morning. It was awesome. Mully will be back. He might be here Friday. So come back.
Yeah,
Friday.
I think we're gonna have him on Friday. We'll talk about his guitar. It'll be fun.
His Music Man. Yes, awesome. Come back Friday, everybody. Keep rocking, keep rolling. Have a great night. And we'll see you guys Friday.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.